Oh God. What? What does that mean? Boone cuts off the WZR radio theme song. What do we got? What do we got? We gotta. Oh no. Oh no.
No, no, no. That's not what you're saying. No.
No? What's
Are you
going on?
thinking I'm drunk? Is that what you think?
Are you sober?
Yes.
You are.
Yeah, I was just motivated to woo because I heard Flair's music. Well, why don't we start the show? How about we do that real quick?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's March 26th, 2013. Time for another edition of WZR Radio, WZROnline.com. I'm Ryan Clark. He's Matt Boone, and we're gonna be here for the next 2 hours talking pro wrestling. Monday Night Raw from last night. The big news, man, was this guy, Ric Flair. You know, he was.
I haven't heard anything about it. I heard that, something with his leg and shit, but I haven't heard anything other than that, so you'll have to fill me in like everybody else.
Yeah, it was. He was backstage at Raw yesterday. They, you know how they had it was like a Legends type Q&A to end Raw last night. They had Dusty Rhodes out there, and Ric Flair was supposed to be one of those guys, and something happened backstage at Raw. We'll get into it here in just a little bit, but. Um, they sent him home, and you know how remember just a couple of months ago he was overseas, right? And there was a blood clot in his leg, and they didn't want him to fly home. And he said, "Fuck you, man! I'm getting on an airplane. I'm flying back home. Nobody's gonna tell me otherwise," you know. And that's exactly what he did. And then last night, WWE's medical team took a look at him and said, you got to go to the hospital. He refused to go to the hospital and instead went home to Charlotte and then told people that he was going to get it checked out today. Now, it's your guess is as good as mine as to whether he went to a doctor today. Probably not. He's one of those guys that you can't tell him what to do. It's Ric Flair. You know what I mean?
Well, he lives the gimmick. Like he lives the gimmick. He parties. He does this and that. He does everything his own way. But the thing that confuses me, I understand that WWE has to be cautious. He definitely has to err on the side of caution after Jerry Lawler had a heart attack and almost died on TV. After this and that happened with older guys. But Ric Flair was only going to come out for a talking segment, and it was his leg. Not like something that he could die from. Like, well, what's the worst that could happen while he's out with a leg? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand
no. You can get a blood clot. A blood clot doesn't.
Oh yeah, it was blood clots. Okay, you're right. Yeah. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, a blood clot can be anywhere in your body and kill you. That wasn't necessarily.
I forgot it was a blood clot. You're right.
It was the same leg. They don't know if it was a blood clot. I mean, it had something to do with the leg, and I'm guessing that the blood clot had something to do with it. You know what I mean? But they don't know for a fact that was the reason for the issues last night. I mean, people.
Probably his leg was like grotesquely swollen or something, like just insanely swollen.
Yeah, well, and people that saw him over the weekend said that he didn't look good. Number one, and number two, he had a bad limp. He was just limping around badly. So he didn't look good over the weekend, and then you add to that, and not only that, but he was supposed to be at Raw last week too. Last week, this week, and next week as well. The 3 weeks leading into WrestleMania, and he wasn't there last week. So nobody knows the reason as of right now why he wasn't at Raw last week. But he was there this week. They just they sent him home a couple hours before Raw went live. So we're gonna talk Monday Night Raw from last night. Did you see it or no?
I came home and I saw it from right before the 10 o'clock hour all the way till I guess 11:22 was when it ended. So I saw the last thing, but most of what I saw was and I watched it with friends. It's so embarrassing watching it with friends because it was one fucking. It's AJ's cat fighting backstage into a Brodus Clay tag team match, into a Fandango Jericho highlight from earlier, into like just every douchey thing. Kane and Daniel Bryan, like just everything that makes you cringe when people that aren't wrestling fans are watching it with you. Just one after the other, after the other, after the other, and then they had the long ass cool segment to close the show. But that's all. That's really the only important thing I think I saw.
Bro, you know what? Here's the problem. The problem I have with it is, I'm on my Facebook last night. People are saying, this Raw's not that bad. It's a pretty good show. Da 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 da. Problem I have with it, as of today, we're 12 days away from WrestleMania, bro. 12 days as of today.
I know.
Dude, does it feel like WrestleMania? Fuck no, right? And you're watching Raw last night and you're thinking, this is the final hype going into WrestleMania, dude. You got this Raw, the Raw last night, and then you got one more next week, and then you've got WrestleMania. Does it feel like WrestleMania? Hell no, man. And that's the problem.
I can't speak on the Triple H Undertaker stuff, CM Punk Undertaker Triple H last night, because I didn't see what they did with those two angles last night. I'll have to hear in the rundown. But the main event finally feels like they're trying to do the big push in the main. They gave them fucking tons of time, but it was. I mean, they touched. They had a little physicality at the end, but it was a lot of counterpoint. But it wasn't that. Actually, no, you know what? Well, I guess we'll talk about it in chronological order when we get there. But I think they did a good job for making that feel like, okay, it's almost time for our main event. We've been waiting for it. But if you compare that, it's the same main event as last year. So you compare it to last year's, I'd say this time last year, it felt a lot more like WrestleMania close than it does this time this year, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, the main event, John Cena, Rock, no doubt. They've done a good job, and Rock hasn't been there the last couple of weeks, right?
That's what I was going to say. They haven't done a good job. Up until last night, there's just been a fucking video, and we were even saying last week, why don't they have Rock cut promo? He's the best promo guy in history. Okay, he's busy promoting the movie. He could tape a fucking promo at least. Cena could come out and do something.
All right.
Better than fighting a fucking goofy cousin of Darren Young or whoever the fuck, But
all right, so
finally got serious.
So listen to this, right? You've got the main event, you've got WWE title match, you've got John Cena and The Rock, right? We've already seen it. We saw it last year. I give him credit, man. I mean, the angle last night to end Raw, it was good build towards WrestleMania, right? But we've already seen the match, right? You've got Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio. A couple of weeks ago, dude, they were running with this storyline, man. Everything was good. I mean, they were just going. It was promo after promo. You had all the vignettes with Zeb Coulter, and then Swagger got arrested for DUI, and that match is like nothing now, right? They haven't. I mean,
in a way, I know what you mean, but at the same time, also what they have to worry about is they gotta make each match have its own level of importance. You don't want certain matches seeming too important. Because it'll take away from the important. You know what I mean? Like if Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio is a big deal, and it's the fourth match down,
right.
It kind of lessens everything above it because it shouldn't even be close. Like
but
top matches should be fucking head and shoulders above everything else.
All right, but you're not just talking about Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio. You're talking about a match for the World Heavyweight title, bro.
No,
and you're telling me that
the titles don't mean shit. I was gonna make a big point about that. If you brought it up, I'll just do a quick version now. I'll get into it more later when we get to the Raw rundown, but. Cena Rock, as good as it was last night, finally they're picking up the pace in the storyline. They addressed the once-in-a-lifetime thing, which I'm sure you were happy to see because that was a big pet peeve of yours. But the one big criticism I have is important as they're making the match feel, it doesn't seem like the title has a fucking thing to do with it. Like, they should be fucking putting over the fact that, hey, I want to be the best, I want to be the champion, this and that, and it's more just like, I want to prove to myself that I can beat you. Like, even if he didn't have the title, it would be the same build-up. They could do the same promo, same storyline, just edit out the one line about how Rock won the title like he said he was going to, and it's the same exact storyline. So the title's damn near worthless. It's a prop, as opposed to a gimmick that makes that elevates the importance of the program. You know.
All right, listen to this card though. John Cena versus The Rock. We know Rock's leaving after WrestleMania, right? So and not only that, but Rock won last year, right? So
and he left Cena laying last night.
All right, so John Cena's probably going to go over at WrestleMania, right? Wins the WWE title. If it's not at WrestleMania, it's going to be at WrestleMania, no doubt about it, dude. That's the grandest stage of them all. John Cena gets his retribution or whatever they're hyping it up, right? Then you've got Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio. The feud was hot a couple of weeks ago. In recent weeks, it's kind of died off. They haven't done much with it. There's really been no hype unless they do something on SmackDown. Whatever, right? You've got Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. That's been featured a lot, right? Triple H came out, cut a promo on Raw last night. That'll be a good match, man. Triple H and Brock Lesnar. Then
they'll gimmick the hell out of it, with the brawling and shit.
Of course, and the street fights and that sort of style of match.
Hammer will come out. All that
right. All right, so then for the undercard, right? You've got the WWE Tag Team Title match. You've got Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston against Kane versus Danny Bryan. You know what I think happens, man? I think Dolph cashes in at WrestleMania. We're gonna give our picks next week, but I think Jack Swagger will probably win the title over Alberto Del Rio, and immediately after that, Dolph Ziggler comes out and cashes in, something like that. You know what I mean? But the undercard, WWE Tag Team Title match, Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston against Kane and Daniel Bryan. Who cares, right? You've got CM Punk.
That's just a match.
All right, you've got CM Punk versus The Undertaker. Obviously, that's probably going to be the best match on the card, right? You've got Randy Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show against The Shield. And as of last night, the match wasn't even confirmed. And the week before that, we didn't have The Big Show in the match. We had Ryback in the match, right? So in the last week or two, keep in mind, you're less than 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. You still don't have your main matches set. They put in The Big Show, right? Randy Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show against The Shield. It'll be a good match, dude. All the Shield's pay-per-view matches, they've been great, right? Every single one of them have been great.
I'll tell you right now what happens in that one. Orton turns heel and The Shield wins.
That's that. Well, that's what it is. And the whole thing with what they were doing on Raw last night is, can Randy Orton and Sheamus coexist with The Big Show?
Exactly.
So the whole angle, the whole focus is going to be on The Big Show. Is The Big Show going to be able to work with Randy Orton and Sheamus? And then out of nowhere, towards the end of the match, Randy Orton hits an RKO on either Sheamus or The Big Show, probably Sheamus. It all depends on what they want to do post-WrestleMania with Randy Orton as a heel. Is he going to go into a storyline with The Big Show or a storyline with Sheamus? Makes way more sense to go Sheamus, so I'm sure at some point during the match, Orton hits an RKO on Sheamus, and they get everybody saying, "Oh my God, are you kidding me, dude? What are you thinking, Randy?" And that's the whole the swerve that they're gonna play there. You've got Mark Henry. You've got Mark Henry and Ryback. The whole point of that, Ryback goes over there, right? They're trying to push Ryback. Ryback gets his WrestleMania moment, dude. The whole thing is he props Mark Henry up on the shoulders, and they even started the build to that last night on Raw, where how in the hell, when Ryback was in the match with 3MB, right, and he put
shell shock two of them at once or whatever.
Right.
I was watching that because the way he does that move, he always from both sides. Right there alone, you can have something tear, something. It's just because it's awkward. It's like carrying water weight. It moves around, and it's not just like a physical bar with weights on it. You know what I mean? So it's awkward weight the way because it's human bodies and the way distribution's off, especially with two bodies stacked. But then he fucking picks his feet up and stomps around like you could fucking tear your leg muscle, like blow your knee up so easily.
No, it's pretty crazy.
To put over his power,
right?
Because that's going to be the big spot, like you said, with Mark Henry at WrestleMania. So they're kind of hyping that spot up a little bit by having him demonstrate. But even it's just so risky in my opinion. Even the announcers last night on Raw, they kept saying, how in the hell is Ryback going to get Mark Henry up like that and hit the shell shock? So they're already starting to build to that, and you're going to hear that over and over during the call for WrestleMania. How in the world is Ryback going to get Mark Henry up on his shoulders? It's the same as Hogan Andre with the slam. You make it seem so impossible that when it finally happens,
you're right.
Especially if you're a kid, you're like, holy shit, he actually did it.
Right. So Ryback gets his WrestleMania moment, hits the shell shock on Mark Henry, and that's over. Right. Then they announced today Miz versus Wade Barrett. Come on, dude. Nobody cares about that, right?
Did they announce that?
They confirmed it on WWE a couple hours ago. Yeah.
And then the IC strap, or is there even a belt in there?
That's for the IC title.
Okay.
Right, and then, all right, so nobody gives a fuck about that, right? And then they announced last night on Raw, and we had known this for a couple of weeks, put it up on the websites, Chris Jericho against Fandango, right? Nobody cares about that. I mean, I'll give it credit, dude. Chris Jericho, great worker. People don't know Fandango, or Fandango, whatever you want to call him. He's a great worker, dude. Johnny Curtis is a great worker. So,
He did that leg drop off the top. Was that the spot he did last night? After Jericho Ziggler, did he do a leg drop off the top or some fucking big fantastic? Like that was his first actual physicality that I can ever recall seeing.
I think on paper, right? On paper, everybody's like, oh man, Fandango against Chris Jericho, blah 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 blah. But on paper, it looks like shit, dude. I think when you actually see the match and see how good of a worker Fandango or Johnny Curtis is against a guy like Chris Jericho, that could steal the show, man. That could be a
that's what I
great
was just getting ready to say. Like earlier when you said CM Punk Taker's going to be the best match, I agree just because it'll feel way bigger than Jericho Fandango. That even the matches are like a little bit equal. The CM Punk match is way bigger because it's the Undertaker streak and all that shit. But with the Jericho Fandango thing, I think it's almost like a fucking joke. Like, let's have this, I mean, they didn't plan the whole character around this one program, this one WrestleMania match. But while they've got this fruity dancing around character, I didn't say the F word like Bully Ray this week. I make sure you're proud of me for that.
You said it last week though. Came on here and said it.
I didn't realize it was the middle of a wrestling controversy with that word. Any other week, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal because I've said it. If you go through the archives, maybe 300 times since we've done the show. But anyway, Jericho and Fruitcake Fandango or whatever. Hey now. Fucking dancing around like a fucking, Cheerio or whatever, and you don't expect anything from the match. There is no expectations. It's a who cares match, like you said. But then, like you also said, because of his work rate that people don't know and they're not expecting because he seems like it's just a gimmick as opposed to a legit worker, that when the fucking bell rings and they tear the house down, people are like, holy shit. And I think that's what's going to happen.
See,
also, real quick while on the Jericho thing, why did he have a black eye? Was that just from like a match, an accident, or did he get hit, or what the fuck happened?
There must have been something at a house show over the weekend, but I
they
saw
didn't address it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I saw it on Raw last night, but they didn't say anything on the show last night, so it must have been a potato shot or something from a live event. See, like people in the chat, AMC boy in the chat, Fandango sucks, right? It's very easy to say. I mean, listen, the gimmick sucks, no doubt, dude. Everybody hates that game. It's garbage, dude. It's a takeoff of Dancing with the Stars, the ballroom dancing and everything that they do, right? But think about it, dude. I mean, think about the guy. If they were to put him in a different gimmick other than that, it's like nobody took to Ryback when he first came in, and I kept saying, man, you got to give it a chance, man. When somebody immediately comes in, right, and they get a new gimmick, right? 99% of the people are going to come out here, oh, this guy sucks, this guy's horrible, da-da-da-da-da. It's the gimmick. It's not the
It's the build-up. They have to, especially because he's a gimmick character as opposed to Chris Jericho, who's just a fucking name that happens to have charisma and personality, and that's his gimmick. He isn't a gimmick, he's just a person. Same as fucking CM Punk, same as The Rock.
Right.
They've got big personalities, but they're not character gimmicks like fucking Pros Clay or Fandango's the best example. But Fandango, when you bring something like that in, you have to do all the video packages. You have to not let him wrestle and get over the character first.
Right.
And then once the character's established, you can expand, you can elaborate, you can build on that or whatever. But you have to establish it in the beginning, and that's what they're doing. People just they're not patient enough to see it through.
Right. I think people forget that these guys portray gimmicks. You know what I mean? It's a gimmick. It's not. You know what I mean, dude? It's a gimmick.
He didn't say Johnny Curtis sucks. He said Fandango sucks.
Yeah.
He is talking about the gimmick thing.
All right. He could say Fandango's gimmick sucks or Johnny Curtis's gimmick. I guess you got a point. That's a good point. All right.
It's not that you haven't seen it.
I gotcha.
Like they could take a left turn. Like Doink the Clown when he first came out was fucking retarded, and then all of a sudden he became this fucking evil ass clown, and you're like, oh, that's kind of fucking gangster.
Yeah.
And then he went back to a goofball clown again. But that initial Doink with the evil clown persona, you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yo, I got a joke for you.
Oh Christ. Go ahead.
A crab ate 3 clams, while the lobster ate 1. So the lobster said to the crab, "You're so shellfish."
Ryan.
Yes?
Ryan, WrestleMania is in 12 days, as you said. So guess what?
What?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Yo,
nobody got time for that.
All right, so check this out, dude. This guy named.
Is that the whole card, by the way? Is that it?
There's a guy named. He's always in the rapid fire, man. I know I'm gonna butcher his name, dude, but his name is Ranjit or Ranjit Kahal, right? And this guy does a lot, dude. He's always sending in news. You know, he brings the signs to events and things like that, right? And then he tweets random people, and they retweet, you know, links to WZROnline.com. So last week we had this thing, right, where I went outside and it was snowing like crazy out, right? This guy, unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable.
Yeah. You got it queued up?
Now check this out.
This is nuts.
Oh, they isolated it. You got the drops like we had before.
Unbelievable.
That's awesome. We said that.
Watch this. Watch this. Check this out.
And you see crazy amounts of snow. This is nuts.
He made a soundboard for us, brother. We got a WZR radio soundboard that this guy put together.
We asked on the air last week. We said, I wish somebody could cut this up so we could just fucking throw in an unbelievable comment with him. You know what I mean? He did it.
This guy made a soundboard. So now I got the full version. So, like, if somebody were to call up, right, and ask a stupid question, I would play this.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And then it stops right there. I got the ain't nobody got time for that, right? But then, if we want the full version...
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Whoops. So I got a whole soundboard, and then I got something for you.
Time for that.
Oh, I love it, bro. I fucking love it.
I didn't know what that was until until the trumpets came on. I didn't know that was a Jeffrey. You said something for me. Do they have any drops of me on there? No hey nows? No nothing?
No, but we can add to it. I think this guy can add to it. Like, we can get a bunch of sound clips, and then we'll have like a full soundboard where he basically took the video that I put up on YouTube last week and made this, you know, this little sound clip and put it together, and we got this.
Oh, man, I gotta stop getting drunk on the air then. Shit. What is that thing?
It says what?
I can't tell what that is.
It's Austin. It's Austin doing the what?
Okay.
It's fucking beautiful.
You know what I said? I gotta stop getting drunk on the air. This motherfucker gonna start isolating me, like slurring and shit. You're gonna be able to throw it in my face when I'm not drunk.
See,
I don't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I fucking love it. So I'll keep this thing up throughout the night, dude. And
he's a handy man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. All right, let's get some plugs out of the way, then we'll get into Monday Night Raw from last night. Hour number 2, we're going to be taking your live phone calls. We're going to do the rapid fire segment. As always, been crazy busy. Where you been, dude? What's the deal, dude? I made some galleries yesterday.
I don't want to talk. You thought I was hitting you for money earlier, didn't you? Is that why you waited 2 hours and sent one letter as your response? I don't want to talk about it on the air.
My phone's been off all day, dude. I've got it shut off for a reason.
Oh, okay.
But no, I didn't get the text message.
I told you that because I didn't want to talk about it on the air. I don't want to get into it because I'm honest on the air and I don't want to be honest about that. So.
Okay. Well, I did some galleries.
Why?
I put some galleries up on WZROnline.com yesterday. So I put those up, and I need you though, man. It's WrestleMania time. You know, it's the busiest time of the year.
I'll be back Friday, no matter what. I'll be back. My neighbor actually offered to get that for me out of the shop or whatever, and I turned her down. I didn't feel comfortable taking her money. I was like, no, you ain't gonna do that. I can't accept that. It was just now, right before we went on the air. She's like, I'll get your computer. No, I don't want to do that.
All right, no doubt.
Friday I'll have it for sure, because I get paid Friday, so I'll be good.
All right, no doubt. Check out the official website at WZR Radio, WZROnline.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. Go to Facebook.com/WZRArmy. Twitter and YouTube links are up at WZROnline.com. Top navigation bar, drop-down menu, social media tab, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook links. All right there for you. Speaking of WZROnline.com, I need to ask you guys a question in the chat room, right? If you've got a pop-up blocker, this doesn't apply to you. You don't even have to reply. All right? How many pop-ups when you visit WZROnline.com do you guys get on a daily basis? Basically, when you visit the website, Do you get one pop-up, two pop-ups? How many pop-ups do you get when you visit the websites? Three.
I can maybe help you with that.
Okay.
I was, just before we went on, I was on your site on my phone, because I did it on my phone with the Wi-Fi and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm on your website, and only websites that do it. There's your website, Facebook does it for some reason like a motherfucker, and MMAfighting.com, one of those sites I go to a lot, does it. It has this thing that pops up that says the site certificate does not match the fucking blah, 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 and you hit continue, and then it pops up again, and you hit continue, pops up again. Some kind of certificate doesn't match the site name, some shit like that, but I didn't get any pop-ups or anything like that on the phone.
All right, here's the deal. There should only be one pop-up when you visit WZROnline.com, and that pop-up should only come up once per hour. You should not see it any more than that. Also, the site seems, at least for me, it seems to freeze the first time you visit it. And then once you start viewing the articles, it gets speedy. It speeds up, right? And everything runs fine. But the first time that you visit the website, it seems to lock up. So basically, last week or 2 weeks ago, we added something called Cloudflare, right? And it's basically to prevent any IP attacks and DOS attacks is what people refer to it as. So we added this Cloudflare thing, and it seems to put a little lag on WZROnline.com. Also, I have dealt with a company called Cheetah Web for years and years and years now, and they offer very little support. These guys are basically it's a bunch of Indians, man, who have just to the point with these guys that I've had enough. So I contacted a brand new server last night. A guy put me in contact with them. They offer, managed hosting, and it's the same exact price. Everything's going to be fixed, and I'm going to do a server switch before we get off, before we go into WrestleMania. So hopefully that's going to take place either tomorrow night or Thursday.
What are you doing that, dude? You know it takes a couple days for people's DNS and shit. You
No,
don't do it too close.
it takes about an hour to get everything transferred over, and then people's DNS, normally they update once or twice every 24 hours. So the site may go down for a day for some of you guys. Others, depending on how fast your DNS or your service provider, how fast they update their DNSs, could be an hour, could be 2 hours, could be 24 hours, but it shouldn't be longer than that. So we're going to do a brand new server switch, and this Cloudflare, everything's going to be sped up basically, and anybody that's getting more than one pop-up, that shouldn't be the case, and everything's going to be fixed within the next 2 or 3 days as soon as we do the server switch. So we're going to be good to go. It's not and then once we do it, man, you guys are going to notice a big change in the speed of WZROnline.com. No snow here this week, Boone, but you know what did fuck me over?
Before you get out of the plugs real quick, I was going to talk about, on the phone the other day, I go to your YouTube channel. Do you realize how fucking gangster your YouTube channel is, dude?
What, YouTube?
It's insane. They make a special graphic for every fucking show. It has the date and our logo and like some wrestlers on it or something. They throw up archives like this day in history 2 years ago, this day in history 4 years ago, this day, you know what I mean? And every video gets hundreds of views. If you go to the information on like one video, like there's a billion links and there's a billion ways to archive. It's just so fucking comprehensive, and like it's really cool. Whoever's doing it must be really smart, because there's all kinds of shit you can do.
You know what?
I was trying to listen to one of the shows.
I am here right now. If you go to youtube.com/WZR archive, that is crazy. Look at the big banner they have.
Look how many video views we have and how many videos are uploaded. They're all archived.
Do our archives get a lot of views? Do we get views on there? I never checked.
It should say when you click the feature tab or feed, I think maybe it'll say at the very top. It'll say this many videos, this many video views, this many subscribers. And you've got like a couple thousand subscribers, or very many hundred or something. You got like a couple 100,000 video views and hundreds of archives up there, like all kinds of shit.
You know what? I've never been here until right now. If you go to YouTube.
All right, click an archive. Do this real quick.
Click any one of these?
Yeah, like any archive. And then when the archive opens up, there should be like an arrow or something that says more information, and it'll drop down and show you more, and you'll see all these links to like your Twitter and all this other stuff, and like these other YouTube tools you can do, and there's like stats on it and information about it, and It's just crazy. Like they fucking really go all out with that YouTube channel.
Yeah, I didn't
Really
realize
nice.
that. Daniels does a great job over here, man. He really
Yeah.
does, man. He puts up the archives. I knew he put them on YouTube, but I didn't know that we had a whole page. Like, if you go to youtube.com/WZR archive, it is pretty crazy. I'm gonna have to check this out when we
Crazy,
go
right?
off the air.
Yeah.
That is
And
nutty,
the
dude.
archives go up the very next day because it was the day after we did the show last week. There's something I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear the quality. That's right. I wanted to hear what it sounded like. So I go to listen to the newest one, or just go to listen to the show, and I go on there the day after we do a show, and the show that we just did is already up. I'm like, why? And like it already had like 30 views. Now it's got like 200 and some views already. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Motherfucker's on top of his game.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
He's got time for it.
He does, man. Daniel does a great job, dude. He really does, man. Check it out, youtube.com/WZR archive. Like I said, the official website of WZR Radio, WZROnline.com. Check it out. And our live chat room, lots and lots of people in there, as always, tonight, WZROnline.com. /chat, WZROnline.com/chat. I got some beers in the fridge, man. I'm thinking about cracking some of those open in hour number 2. What do you think, man? I haven't drank.
Drink up.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna get into this. What we're gonna do, hour number 2, as we normally do, we're gonna be taking live phone calls, doing the rapid fire segment. We'll put that up on Facebook during the commercial break. We're gonna run down Monday Night Raw. We got about a half an hour to do it. I don't have any cool stories or anything like that this week, man. Nothing. It's been kind of a quiet week as far as news is concerned on the websites. My God, man, yesterday and today has just been crazy. We're gonna have.
You say quiet week. There's been news every day, like Arnold inducting Bruno and Flair's shit, and Terry Funk inducted a Fold. Like every day, there's like new shit because WrestleMania coming up. But
what we need to come up with a poll. I haven't updated the WZROnline.com poll here in a couple of weeks, so we need to figure something out.
Is there any
for
controversy going on? Because the only thing I can think of is like which main event are you most looking forward to WrestleMania? But if there's like a current controversy going on that we should address in the poll, I don't know.
we can let the people in the chat room. God, you hear about the X-Pac Sean Waltman story, dude? Good Lord, that had to.
Oh, he ripped his ass, right?
Oh man, dude, he did the.
Bronco Buster, and he literally tore his ass.
Right, dude? Yeah.
Man.
Oh my God.
Boy, dude, God damn.
Yo, think about that, dude. Think about going into the corner, right, and your legs are split out, right? And then your asshole just rips open, dude, and blood starts pouring out, dude. Oh my God, can you imagine, dude? Just think of that, dude. That's
I
basically.
remember that one time we were roommates. You know, I bent you over. I ripped your asshole open, but that was different, man. You invited. This guy goes to do a Bronco Buster and boom, rips his
Wait a
fucking
minute.
asshole.
What? You ripped my asshole open? What are you talking about? What?
That's the kind of response we get from that right
Get
there.
the fuck out of here. Motherfucker ain't ripping no assholes open. He ain't doing none of that.
7.5 inches will fucking do some tear 'em, bro.
Yo, you better keep that 7.5 inches way the fuck away from my asshole,
Jericho,
motherfucker.
Baby, I will break the walls down.
What are you, gay, dude? What are you talking about sticking 7.5 inches in my asshole, dude? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Get out of here.
Hey, you're the one who took it up your ass, man. What the fuck? I think
Yeah.
You're the
Oh my God, this fucking guy talking about sticking a 7.5 inch penis up my asshole right now. You fucking
we
kidding me?
were supposed to talk about that on the air. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
guys,
my-
that never happened. Never mind.
Holy Christ, dude. Get the fuck out of here. That sounded gay on your part, bro. That sounded hella gay on your part.
Because I completely didn't think it would. Me talking about fucking a guy in the ass, I wondered in my head, like, does that sound gay or not? No, it doesn't. Let's say it.
Get out of
Of course
here.
it sounds
Get
gay.
out of
It's
here.
fucking- It's better than your shellfish bullshit.
Hey, I got a joke for you. What do you call a dog with 2 legs? Doesn't matter what you call it. It's only got 2 legs. It's not gonna come anyway. I got one more for you, brother. What do you call?
Call it a wheelbarrow fuck or something like that.
No, what do
Yeah,
you call a fish with 2 knees? A toonie fish. Ah! Get out of here.
A blowjob fish? I don't know.
A toonie fish, because it's got 2 knees.
Well, a fish with 2 knees could blow me because it could get on its knees in front of me.
So check
And they
this
got
out.
some fish lips,
What do
too.
you want to do, man? We'll let the people in the chat room come up with a good poll. We'll let you guys. It's gonna stay up on the website all week long.
7.5 inches. Your poll will be.
So what do you want for a poll in the chat room? What's a good one? Think of something, man. Think of
What was
something.
last week?
It was actually 2 weeks ago. I think it's still the Paul Bearer one. Yeah. What do you think the Paul Bearer storyline is disrespectful? 69% of the votes say I'm fine with it, and 31% say disrespectful. So most people are fine with it. You know, we need a good poll though that is going to stay up on the website. We only give us like 3 or 4 options. I mean, who is the first to get released after WrestleMania? We give you like 20 options, so that's a little bit difficult. But give us something, man. When will Dolph Ziggler cash in?
The simple one I had in my head was which main event are you looking, most forward to? Undertaker, Brock, or Undertaker, Punk, Brock, Triple H, or Rock Cena?
Say it again.
Which of the 3 WrestleMania main events? Are you gonna play a drop on me, or?
No. I was.
Okay.
I was.
Now I'm all worried that you're gonna fucking drop bombs on me every time I try and say something. No, I was saying, as the 3 main events of WrestleMania, which one are you most looking forward to? And then list the 3 main events, see what people are most excited about: the Rock Cena, the Taker Punk, or Brock Triple H.
All right, we can do that. So what am I typing now?
Give me the word. Okay. Which WrestleMania 29 main event are you most anticipating? And then just list the top 3.
This is gonna take a minute.
Listen to him typing.
All right.
And while he's typing real quick, I heard this the other day, and I didn't even think. I mean, it makes total sense. It never crossed my mind though. You could find out how many words per minute you type on a keyboard. Somebody was telling me how many words a minute they text the other day, and I'm like, oh no shit. And I was thinking, I probably got the biggest disparity. I got the biggest difference between how much I can type on a computer, because I'm fucking blazing fast, but then if you put a fucking text in front of me, I'm retarded. I'm like someone's grandpa or something. I'm like, is there an S on this thing?
I got Rock Cena, Taker, Punk, and Triple H Lesnar. We're not doing Del Rio Swagger, or are we?
I mean, you could, but nobody's gonna vote for it. What's the other? Was there any other gimmick match? Like Shield, no. Jericho, no. Ryback, no. Yeah, I guess the world title would be the only other one you could put in there.
All right, we'll do Rock Cena, Undertaker, CM Punk, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, and Del Rio against Jack Swagger. Hit the add poll button. It's up. You guys can go vote right now. It's WZROnline.com. It's on the right-hand side of the website. Scroll down just a little bit and vote which WrestleMania 29 match are you most anticipating. Is it The Rock versus John Cena, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, CM Punk versus The Undertaker, or Alberto Del Rio against Jack Swagger? We'll give you guys the results before we go off the air here tonight. You can't even wait until I get my fucking plug out of the way.
Well, I was going to change it, because you should make other an option, because some people might actually think Ryback's the biggest or most exciting, whatever the fuck.
We'll leave it out. Because if you put other, dude, you can't get a good, you know what I mean? You can't get a good analysis of...
Well, the only thing it would tell you is, like, outside of the main events, there's actually 20% of the people anticipating undercard matches, shit like that. But yeah, you're right. It's more important to see which main event they're jazzed about.
Yeah,
so there we go. Tonight, man? A little fucking Raw rundown? What are we doing here?
We got Monday Night Raw, dude. Let's get into it, man. They, actually, let me load up my Raw report. We're going to be taking live phone calls, too, in hour number 2.
Well, while you're... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. What do you got?
There's a bad echo. There it goes again. See, I can't tell if you're done talking or if I'm talking over you.
This motherfucker's got excuses tonight. Get out of here, dude. Spit it out. What do you got?
It was echoing. Now it's not. No, I forgot what I was going to say now. God damn it.
This motherfucker, dude. You know what happened? Hey, let me tell you this, though. You know what happened over the weekend, right? My fill rate. You know what a fill rate is for an advertising company, right? Well, normally we get above 50%, right? Well, my fill rate with my third best advertising company tanked over the weekend, dude. Went from like 55% all the way down to 2 or 3%. So I email this ad rep, right? And I say, what's the deal, man? The fill rate went down, right? She emails me back, man. And I was so nice to her, man, when I sent an email, right? And she says, Ryan, we are committed to maintaining the highest level of quality on its advertising exchange. We constantly monitor any and all exchange traffic for signs of fraud and otherwise unacceptable and undesirable content. In keeping with our high standards and routine analysis of our inventory, we will no longer be accepting traffic from ProWrestlingScoops.com. This is the reason why your domain fill rate has dropped to near 0%, as your domain does not meet the criteria now necessary necessary to be included on our exchange. Please remove any and all pulse point tags from this domain. You can see the publisher terms and conditions at the link below. So I responded to her. I said, well, wait a minute. You're not giving me any, basically, you're terminating my advertising contract, and you're not giving me any reason for the termination. I said, that's wrongful termination. I said, you got to be kidding me right now.
You have a contract? Don't you have to sign ad contract?
Yes, I've got a contract, man. And she sends me an email and basically says, you're terminated, you're kicked off our network, you're done. So I responded. I said, well, then I'm going to get lawyers to look into it for wrongful termination of a contract.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure they got it covered in the contract that they can change the fucking what's accepted, like what part of their, whatever. Maybe they probably reserve the right to change the guidelines and all that shit on you. I'm sure they got it worded in there right.
So I sent her an email back and I said, listen, I've been with you guys for 6 years now and I've never had a problem. I said, actually, I said one time I've had a problem and I spoke to a guy named Ricardo and he was so nice and we got everything resolved and we were back on track, da-da-da-da-da-da. I sent her this long email, right? I get an email back on yesterday morning after that, and she says, hold on a minute. She says, Ryan, thank you for your response. I am pleased to say that after speaking with Ricardo, he is going to make some changes that should rectify the issue around your fill rate. Please monitor your account over the next few days and let me know if you see any additional issues. So this woman terminated my contract, right? And then when I threatened her with a lawsuit and to have lawyers look into it, she all of a sudden comes back to me and says, well, I spoke to Ricardo. Everything's fine now. Da-da-da-da. Get the fuck out of here. I'm still going to leave.
Is it a new woman? Or is it somebody that's always been there?
I've always spoken to a guy named Ricardo, and that's who I mentioned.
Okay.
Right? That's who I had.
They probably hired her to cut down on their fucking affiliate list, or try and cut down the fill rate on all these, you know what I mean? Like, she just hacked your fucking site off the list.
Right, she did, yeah. She terminated the contract, and then she responded with that on Monday morning. Her name's Darmisha, man. And I've never once dealt with, a woman by the name of this, but whatever, dude. Anyway, she spoke to Ricardo. Everything turned out good in the end, but my God, dude, I mean, to lose your third biggest advertising company, you know what that would have meant? Boone? I need Vince McMahon's fucking.
I remember what I was gonna say. Somebody in the chat room might be able to answer it now. Otherwise, one of our historians that listen gotta let me know. Last night's Raw went to 11:22. We're about to do the Raw rundown. Is that the longest Raw in the history of the show? 3 hours and 22 minutes? Because I don't recall ever having a Raw longer than that.
No, the last couple of weeks, man, they've ran real long, man. I mean, we're talking
but not that long. I mean, that was damn near into 11:30.
I don't know. I'm sure it's gone. I mean, I think it may have gone to 11:30, close to 11:30. It's got to be one of the longest in a long time, though, man. You're right. Was it 11:22? You said? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was 11:22 is exactly when it ended, or maybe 11:23, depending on my minute, fast, minute, slow. What are they saying in the chat?
It was past 11:20. Cattle mutilation. Oh my God. All right, so Monday Night Raw. We'll get into it, man. While we're on the subject, CM Punk comes to the ring. Right, he opens up tonight's show, and he comes out with Paul Heyman. They're throwing the urn back and forth and tossing it, during the ring entrance. And Paul had the facial expressions like, dude, we're tossing around an urn. I don't think this is a good idea. You know what I mean? It was awesome. Paul Heyman is he's amazing, bro.
He can convey a whole idea without opening his mouth. Beautiful.
So he says, Punk grabs the microphone and he says, no disrespect to Paul Bearer, because the urn meant everything to him and the Undertaker. He says the urn means nothing to him. He drops it again like he did the previous week, and he continues to say, that come WrestleMania, the Undertaker is going to be 20-1. Tom Pritchard came out with a blog, right? And 20-0 would be a perfect number to end the streak on, undefeated. 20-0, it just sounds good. You know what I mean? Tom Pritchard in a blog said something like, if Taker goes 21-0 at WrestleMania,
Taker would always be 20-0 at WrestleMania, but that extra one, right, for 21-0 would be for Paul Bearer. And I thought that was a great idea, man. That extra one. And of course, if he comes back next year and he does 22-0, 23-0, whatever, it doesn't mean anything. But that one extra one, in addition to 20-0, 21-0, would be for Paul Bearer. And I like that. I think it's a good idea.
I mean, it's a good idea. It's a warm and cozy idea, but they started the Punk Taker build-up the week before Paul Bearer died, so clearly Taker didn't come back just to win one more for Paul Bearer. You know what I mean? So it's a flawed idea, but it's a nice concept.
No, it is it was just cool, man, when he mentioned that in the blog, and I thought, you know what, dude, that one extra one, at least for the last year, you know, Taker could come out the following night on Raw after going 21-0 and say, you know, I came back, I'm 20-0 at WrestleMania, and now I'm 21-0, and that 21, you know, that one for 20. What the fuck was that? Did you hear that?
On your end. Yeah, I did.
Good Lord, somebody revving their engine out there, man.
Outside.
You want a video?
But I was thinking that too with the awkward number. I'm like, he just hit 20 last year. He's probably done. But then we would hear the stories, you know, people telling, oh, he's got one or two more in him. But then you're like, well, the streak can't end at 21-0 or 22. But it has to be 25-0, and he can't do 5 more. So what the fuck? It's going to be some weird cockeyed number for all of eternity. You know?
So Punk comes out, right? He's out there. He's cutting this promo. He says, then he says, you know, I'm waiting for the chill to come over the arena. I'm waiting for the lights to go out. Sure enough, the lights go out. When they come back on, Taker's already in the ring. Punk drops the urn, and Paul Heyman grabs it, runs up the ramp with it. Punk escapes from the ring and goes to the top of the ramp with Paul Heyman. You know, and then both of them are relieved. They still got the urn. Taker didn't take it back, and you know, they did a stare down. It's basically, you know.
I didn't see it, so I shouldn't be fucking commenting on it, because it might have been awesome. But it sounds like it's just another week of this is the Paul Bearer angle at WrestleMania, as opposed to this is fucking CM Punk Undertaker, goddamn streak versus the longest reigning WWE champion of this era, blah, 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 the top star of the business, you know, next to John Cena against the biggest legend still alive. It's like that should be the fucking this guy's old manager from 10 years ago died, and he's got the urn, so I want to kick his ass. It just seems like a waste of a fucking great. And like I said, Taker's only got a few more left, so I mean, I get they have the sentimental ending where he fucking salutes the urn after he wins. It's a nice image. It's beautiful. I get it. But why do you have to build the whole goddamn angle around that fucking urn and somebody being dead? And it's a waste in my opinion.
It's not a dude. Wait a minute. If you were say that Paul Bearer didn't die, I mean, listen, man, you never want to make an angle out of somebody's death. But if the family approves of it, and if they thought that Paul Bearer was going to approve of it, which he would have. Why not run with it? If you listen, man.
I'm not saying it's bad because it's tasteless. I don't think it's tasteless. Even if it was, I don't give a shit. My point is, like I said last week, I'm not trying to disrespect Paul Bearer's death, but that should not be the focal point. Whoever it's tasteless or not be relevant.
No, I disagree, man. It makes it by having Paul Bearer involved and by having the urn involved, it makes the feud all that more personal, man. All the more personal to have the urn and Paul Bearer involved.
That's a good point if it was like one portion of the feud, but it's the entire feud, that urn and Paul Bearer and all that shit. Like there's no other elements to the feud other than you know, he disrespected my dead manager, I'm gonna kick his ass. Like that's the entire feud. It's not one element.
Yeah, but that's what really makes you wanna purchase it is, does Taker get the urn back at WrestleMania? And you know he's going to, but the casual fan doesn't know that. You know what I mean? It just seems like, okay, if Paul Bearer, if they didn't use the Paul Bearer angle in the storyline in the urn, it would just be CM Punk coming out. I'm gonna defeat you at WrestleMania. I'm gonna be the guy that ends the streak. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
CM Punk's creative enough, especially with Heyman. I'm saying Paul Heyman, the Paul Bearer thing, it just doesn't seem. It seems like the easy approach. Like it's lazy writing. Like
how else?
Ready-made storyline. Let's just play up this fucking dead guy.
Dude,
as opposed to let's come up with some badass idea for one of Undertaker's final fucking matches ever.
We've seen the same thing every single year going into WrestleMania with a Taker match. I'm gonna be the guy that ends your streak, and it would have been the same exact thing with CM Punk and The Undertaker. I'm going to be the guy that ends your streak. This is something different, man. This puts it on a more personal level. It puts it on a more real-life level, and I think it's a good idea.
Good point. You're right on that.
I think it's a good idea.
No, I'm not going to argue that. You're absolutely right. I didn't even think about it like that. But the still, I think it should be multi-layered. I think that should be one part of it, not the entire thing. But it does make it a lot more personal. It is different.
Yeah, but you know,
I'm going to beat your streak. They've got that also. I'm going to beat your streak. So they got this to make it personal. So it is. All right, you might have sold me.
But you know what? You know what? At WrestleMania, and you brought this up a couple of minutes ago, you're gonna have the feel-good moment, man, when Taker goes 21-0,
yeah.
CM Punk's laid out.
Goosebumps. Even if they're talking shit, like me included. I don't know what you're talking shit about. I guarantee you, when it happens, I'm gonna have my fucking hair on my arm standing up. I'm like, wow, that's fucking awesome. You know?
Right. What else, man? What else? We had Fandango comes out, right? And I put this up on Facebook. You knew it was going to happen here. Everybody knew if you guys read the websites, which all of you guys do because you're here right now. You know, they're going with Fandango against Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. Obviously, they're saving Fandango's debut, in-ring debut. I know he's worked house shows and things like that, but his television debut or his pay-per-view debut, they're saving that one match until WrestleMania. You're not going to see it next week on Raw either, and they continue to tease you week after week after week. You know, it was like when Chris Jericho, it's similar to when, speaking of Chris Jericho, remember when Chris Jericho returned and he came out and he grabbed the microphone and he didn't say anything for a couple of weeks? It's the same thing.
The world will change forever and something like that.
No, right, but he didn't speak for weeks, and everybody was like, "What the fuck, man? Jericho's not talking, dude. When's he gonna speak?" It's the same thing they're trying to do with Fandango. What the fuck, dude? This guy comes out for a match every single week, and something happens. He refuses to work in the match. Somebody attacks him, something, right? And then eventually he has that first match. It's the same thing with Chris Jericho.
Well,
Chris Jericho.
You know what else they're doing with Fandango? I saw last night was the Muhammad Ali thing. The old Muhammad Ali thing where, you know, he's been building up for weeks and nobody pronounces his name right, and he won't wrestle unless they do, blah, 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 blah. But after he drops the leg on Jericho, he's screaming at him, "What's my name? You know, what's my name?" Ali was famous for that. He was born Cassius Clay. I'm a big Muhammad Ali mark. He was born Cassius Clay, joined the Nation of Islam after he beat Sonny Liston, and then, or actually announced after he beat Sonny Liston, and then he became Muhammad Ali. Only people that were like fucking bigots and douchebag assholes refused to call him Muhammad Ali. They would call him Cassius Clay almost to like disrespect him because that was his slave name. You know, his name of his ancestors that owned him or whatever. So he would beat people up in the ring, but he wouldn't knock them out because he wanted to punish them. And he'd hit them and he'd say, "What's my name? You're going to say my name, motherfucker." And he'd hit him again, "What's my name? Say my name." And he did that to Ernie Terrell and he did that to Floyd Patterson. And Fandango was doing the same fucking thing to Jericho.
Fandango.
They're ripping that off a little bit.
Fandango.
I'm sorry.
So anyways, they're gonna, I mean, Fandango's official match, you know, first match on WWE TV or pay-per-view. It's gonna be WrestleMania. It's gonna be against Chris Jericho. And like me and Boom were talking about earlier, man, don't sleep on that match, man. They may tear the house down, man. You know?
Let me ask you this question, because you brought it up, and I was actually thinking that in my brain before you brought it up. Well, I'll reference it again. He came back, he wasn't saying anything, Jericho, and that was an awesome, unique thing. And it come back so many times that you figure eventually it won't mean anything when he comes back. It'll just be, Jericho's back. And I think that's finally happened. The last time he came back was a little bit less. This time was nothing. Like, who gives a shit? Jericho's back, and he's not doing anything. It's not important. You know what I mean? When he came back two times ago, it was like, holy shit, where he's breaking the code. He's back.
Well, that's why.
He's got this goofy jacket. And he won't talk. What's he up to? What's he doing? You know,
and
it was cool shit.
Right,
this
and
time it's nothing.
now it's the same old Jericho, man, and that's the reason why. Just a couple of weeks ago, man, when we knew that Triple H and the Undertaker were both going to return, right? I kept saying, everybody says, well, why didn't the Undertaker come? Because Triple H appeared on that show. You don't want to rush everything in one night, man. You want to spread it out. You bring Triple H back one week, you bring the Undertaker back. Is it going to piss people off? Yeah, but in the long run, they're going to make you tune in, and they're going to spread it out, and it's going to be better in the long run. Now the Taker's back, it's the same old Taker, man. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with Taker.
It's the same match, but he's back for a reason. Triple H, he's back for a reason. Jericho came back, he's just been in matches week after week, and somebody picked a fight with him, so he's going to have a match with him at WrestleMania. He's got no mission in the front. Like, I'm back because I want to accomplish this, or I'm not leaving until I get this done, or I've accomplished a lot in my career, but I've never done this. He just came back, started having matches that meant nothing, and all of a sudden somebody picked a fight with him, and he said, "I'll beat you over WrestleMania." It's completely pointless. It serves no purpose. And like I said, it's just killing off Jericho. Jericho is not going to mean shit next time he comes back.
We normally don't do this, but actually, never mind. We're not going to do it anyways. We had, Fandango, he's out of the ring, ready, you know, Jericho attacks him. That led us into a match between Chris Jericho and Dolph Ziggler, right? The commercial break. They come back, and Jericho made Dolph Ziggler submit cleanly to the walls of Jericho. So once again, Dolph Ziggler's jobbed out. But we talk about it every single week, man. You can job Ziggler out. You can job Ziggler out week after week after week. He's still got that Money in the Bank briefcase. And no matter what, once he cashes in and becomes World Heavyweight Champion, that's the time. If he cashes in and wins the world title, he's going to start winning matches unless they immediately take the title right back off of him. I don't think they're going to do that.
If he's in the doghouse with management or something. But you said a couple weeks ago, and it was fucking brilliant, because I was over here saying, it's the same thing with Jericho. You build him up, you break him down. You build him up, you break him down. Eventually, people stop caring, even if you try and build him up. Look at Big Show, perfect example. And Mark Henry. They could try all until they're blue in the face to make these guys unstoppable monsters. Nobody's gonna take him serious. But with fucking Ziggler, it's like this guy's got the briefcase. He's getting over like a motherfucker, and you guys pull the fucking brakes out on him, right? But like you said, with that goddamn briefcase, he can keep losing, and it's almost good because now he's under the radar. For the longest time, when he was getting that push and he had the briefcase, people are like, when's he cashing in? Oh, he's going to cash in here, he's going to cash in there, and they're going to keep going with this push, make him champion, and just go to the moon with it. As opposed to now where you're like, nobody's expecting shit, and that's the perfect time to have him fucking cash in, because now nobody's waiting for it,
Right, because he's been losing, fairly often, and everybody, it's going to be more of a surprise. Not only that, but when he does...
It's almost like get out of jail free card. Yeah, I lose 80 matches, because I'm about to fucking cash this fucker in when nobody expected to be world champion. Oh shit, here's Ziggler.
Right, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And not only that, but when he becomes World Heavyweight Champion, that's the time where they're going to have him start winning again, as long as they give him a title reign, a decent title reign. That's where he's going to get his wins. It doesn't matter now.
Yeah, that erases all the losses they've been having him go through. So they can elevate other guys using him, and it won't hurt him eventually because they've got this get-out-of-jail-free card where he's guaranteed to get a push and be on the top,
Exactly.
Because he couldn't survive. He couldn't survive on top. They couldn't make him a main eventer right now with Rock and Triple H and Brock and Undertaker and Punk. There's no way he'd get over on that level.
Right. We had a 2-on-1 handicap match. It was Mark Henry against the Usos. Mark Henry obviously won here. After it was over, he hit the World's Strongest Slams on both of them. World's Strongest Slam. There's not two of them, but he hit two of them on both of the Uso brothers. And then, later in the night, you had Ryback in that 3-on-1 handicap match. So basically, the two guys that are facing each other at WrestleMania were in handicap matches on Raw. They wound up winning. Del Rio and Antonio Cesaro, these two had a really good match. Cesaro's a great worker. Claudio Castagnoli from Ring of Honor, when I used to go down to New York City and see him, he's a great worker.
That's Antonio Cesaro?
That's Antonio Cesaro.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. The idea here was Ricardo Rodriguez came out to ringside. He's selling the gimmick from last week where he had the broken ankle. And Jack Swagger came out. You knew that was going to happen. Jack Swagger came out and attacked Ricardo again. Del Rio runs him off, and that was that. That feud, the Del Rio and Swagger stuff, has really died down ever since Swagger had that DUI arrest. That feud's really died down. We had Team Hell No and the Primetime Players. Kane pinned Darren Young with a choke slam. And Kane and Daniel Bryan were working good. In recent weeks they've teased tension between the two. I originally thought they were going to do a singles match between those two at WrestleMania, but they wound up doing the tag team match instead. Then we had the Triple H promo. Man, what'd you think of this? Triple H comes out.
I didn't see it.
Says if he loses at WrestleMania, his career's going to be over. He said he's been wrestling every night, like his career is dependent on it, so the Lesnar match is going to be no different. There was a line in there where he says, he ended the promo, it was just a Triple H promo, nobody came out, nobody interrupted, but he said, at WrestleMania, I'm not coming to wrestle, I'm not coming to fight, I'm coming to kick your ass. And I'm thinking, we are going to hear this in the video packages. That one line, man, I'm not coming to WrestleMania to wrestle. I'm not coming to fight. I'm coming to kick your ass. That is going to be in so many hype video packages.
Is that a quote? A direct quote?
That's a direct quote from Triple H.
It doesn't make any...
No, that's what I'm thinking. You know what? Listen, I put that... Did you see my Facebook last night, man? I said,
no.
Well, wait a minute.
I did, but I don't remember that one.
I said, no, wait a minute. If you're trying to fight somebody, aren't you trying to kick their ass if you're in a fight with somebody.
The better question to ask is, how can you kick someone's ass without fighting them?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I put up on Facebook, dude. Is if you're in a fight, you're trying to kick somebody's ass. So how can you kick somebody's ass without fighting them? Like you said, dude. It's the same. So it made no sense. But either way.
Who was it? Shawn? Oh fuck! Back in, I think it was Bret Hart. He told Shawn Michaels he's gonna kick his big. No, it was Triple H. Triple H said it about somebody. He said, "I'm gonna kick your big little ass" or something like that.
Something stupid, dude. Right? Yeah, no, he does it all the time, but you're gonna see that one line, man, in the hype video packages going into WrestleMania. I'm not coming to WrestleMania to wrestle. I'm not coming to fight. I'm coming to kick your ass. You're gonna hear it over and over. It was basically a Triple H promo just for those video packages that you know you're gonna see prior to their match at WrestleMania. You're gonna see one next week on Monday Night Raw. You're gonna see it on SmackDown, and you're gonna see that line. You're gonna see that line from Raw last night in those video packages. Basically, that's what it was for, man.
The Jim Ross method of fucking selling or putting something over is speaking sound bites. Like, basically, Triple H cut that promo just to say the one line they're going to crop out and use in the video package every fucking.
Exactly. All right, we have to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll finish up Monday Night Raw from last night. We're going to be taking your live phone calls, and we are going to do the rapid fire segment as well.
And you can submit questions and comments for the Rapid Fire segment by logging on to Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. Once you get there, top post will ask you for your Rapid Fire questions and comments. Keep them brief, one line or less. Don't answer other people's shit. That's our job. And we'll get to as many as we can in hour number 2. Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR.
Also, during the break, guys, go vote in our poll. Which match at WrestleMania 29 are you guys most anticipating? Is it The Rock versus John Cena, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, CM Punk versus The Undertaker, or Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio? When we come back from the break, we're going to give you guys WWE Main Event, Saturday Morning Slam, and partial SmackDown spoilers. You're listening to WZR Radio with Matt Boone and Ryan Clark. We'll be back right after this. And we're back. Hour numero dos. WZR Radio. Matt Boone. Ryan Clark. Gonna be taking your live phone calls. Rapid fire questions from Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. Get over there. We're also gonna give you guys the results from the live poll that we took. Boone, are you here or no? Yes, we are back. I'm going to run down WWE Main Event and Saturday Morning Slam spoilers real quick.
Hey, Matt, are you here? Shut up. I got to read a bunch of shit.
Why? What's the matter, dude? We came back early from the break. I didn't know if you were gonna be here.
Oh no. I just thought it was funny. You're like, oh shit, make sure Matt's here. Yes, he's here. Okay, now Matt, don't talk for a minute. I gotta read a bunch of spoilers. What would it matter if I was back? You could just read your spoilers. So I'm paid to be here. I'm here, motherfucker. Do your show.
All right, we had for WWE Saturday Morning Slam, we had Justin Gabriel and Zack Ryder defeated Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. Huge pop for Zack Ryder when he came out there in the Northeast, close to Long Island. McIntyre rolled off Ryder with a handful of tights for the win. After the match, Kofi Kingston hit the slingshot thing that he does on 3MB. Mick Foley, the commissioner or general manager of Saturday Morning Slam, came out, gets a big pop, says that he can't have a commentator get physically involved in matches, so he said Kofi Kingston was now out of the booth. And he puts him in a match with Heath Slater. Those two went at it. We had Kofi Kingston hit an armbar at one point and hit the boom drop and finished him off with an SOS. And then in the main event of Saturday Morning Slam, we had Mark Henry defeated Daniel Bryan. Lots of yes-no chance with this one. Let's see here. Henry got him with a clothesline and hit the world's strongest slam for the 1-2-3, got the win there. And then for WWE Main Event, Michael Cole comes out he's got a brand new theme song. Kane defeated Antonio Cesaro. This is a non-title match. Daniel Bryan sat in on commentary. Said to be a pretty good match between Cesaro and Kane. Kane reversed the neutralizer and hit the choke slam. Picked up the win there. There was a backstage segment with Sheamus and Matt Striker. He said if Randy Orton and The Big Show could be on the same page for one night, The Shield would be in for the fight of their lives at WrestleMania. So once again, can Randy Orton, Big Show be on the same page for one night? Da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, basically saying Randy Orton is eventually going to turn heel. Hold off on the phone calls for just a second, guys. We'll get through main event, Saturday Morning Slam, and SmackDown, and then we'll give out the number you guys can call up, and we'll try to get to each and every one of you guys. And then in the main event of WWE main event, we had the Bella Twins beat the Dancers of Brodus Clay, Naomi and Cameron. The Bellas won with a schoolboy roll-up, followed by Cody Rhodes was ringside and caused the distraction there. So the Bellas picked up the win, and then WWE SmackDown is being taped.
Before you get to SmackDown, I noticed on Raw last night the Bella Twins, when they were out there, did they get tit jobs, or have their fucking tits always been that big?
One of them did. I can't remember the name. Was it Brie or Nikki that got the boob job?
I was walking at one. They were walking down. I'm like, wait a minute. They got to have gotten boob jobs. I don't remember their tits being fucking that ridiculously big. But
I got one person in the chat saying it was Brie that got them, and the other people saying Nikki. So it must have been. We'll go with
one
Nikki.
of them definitely got it. Well, that's stupid. It's twins, and one of them gets an enhancement, and the other one doesn't.
No, I remember putting a post up on the websites about one of them getting breast implants, and everybody says that it's Nikki. Nikki Bella was the one in the chat room. Yeah.
Kitty Nikki.
So WWE SmackDown opened up with. I gotta get it up. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, hopefully not the weightlifting competition.
Wait. Oh my God, dude, they hyped that up last night, huh?
Yeah.
That
and The
was
Rock's
fun.
gonna be in tonight. I know that. And it's a show to watch.
Yeah. So we're gonna run down WWE SmackDown. They're taping it right now. And speaking of WWE SmackDown,
They were in Philly last night. Where are they tonight?
I don't know where they are tonight, but anyways, so what? Liz, God, I hate that fucking YouTube video. God damn it, man! Don't you people in the chat room, don't spoil it. I gotta get it up. We have to do this. So they're taping WWE SmackDown tonight. Boone, did you hear about that? They've already taped WWE main event, right? And Saturday Morning Slam as well, right?
Of course.
And they're taping SmackDown. So JBL comes to the ring for commentary. You know what I'm saying? JBL comes to the ring.
Okay.
He's a commentator over on SmackDown. And then to open up SmackDown, Boone, this man comes out.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
We'll keep
$100,000 to reference it at some point. That is, the SmackDown is his show.
Oh, of course. They hyped that up last night on Raw that Rock was going to be there. We'll keep it going. We'll keep the theme music, going on in the background when we talk about it. So Rock comes out to open up WWE SmackDown, gets a huge pop from the crowd. Said that the guy's ears hurt, man. That's how bad it was. It was so loud. Loud Rocky chants throughout the arena. Rock holds up a Hershey's bar because they're in Hershey, Pennsylvania. So he brings out the Hershey's bar, right? Talks about how he used to live an hour away in a place called Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Shows a picture of himself when he was 15 years old, and he has a Cody Rhodes style mustache. And then he does this. Finally, The Rock has come back to Hershey. That whole routine that he normally does. He said that tonight is the first sold-out WWE event in Hershey, Pennsylvania in nearly a decade. He tells us the origin of the story Candy Ass, right? Hershey chocolate, Candy Ass, the story, the origin. Said it would have been a great story. Rock says he's going to beat Cena at WrestleMania. And got some boos over that. And some Cena sucks chants. They go back and forth. You know how they are with John Cena these days. It was said to be a pro Rock crowd. He started the millions and millions of people routine when he was interrupted by. I I gotta cue it up. I don't have it. I don't have
Okay, I thought you had it ready.
it. Right? So he's interrupted by
Hey, he's in the ring and hurts himself. He's talking that shit, and all of a sudden he hears.
no, all of a sudden he hears somebody comes out, right? Somebody comes
Give it
out.
up, dude. It's not even worth it.
Oh no, it's definitely worth it, right? So
Yeah, it's gonna be a big surprise.
oh, it is a big surprise. I'm telling you.
Okay.
So he's interrupted by this music right here.
I don't even know who that is, dude. Sandow?
Who'd you say?
I don't know who it is. I guess Sandow. Is it Damien Sandow?
So
Who is it?
so he's interrupted by Mr. People Power himself, John Laurinaitis, who makes his return to
Okay.
WWE. He gets a huge "You suck" chant, right? Rock asked him who in the blue hell he was, and Laurinaitis said that him and The Rock were two peas in a pod. Rock says, Rock is the people's champion, and Big Johnny started the People Power campaign. So he offered to be in The Rock's corner at WrestleMania 29. Rock asked the crowd, should this man be in my corner at WrestleMania? Of course, the crowd chanted no. The Rock then hits a spine buster and the People's Elbow on John Laurinaitis. Then grabs the mic again
So
and
the
says,
People's Champion hits the People's Elbow on Mr. People Power. I get it.
yes, you
Jesus
see that, dude? The People's Champion hit the People's Elbow on the People Power person. You got it. So The Rock says that at WrestleMania, Cena's going to get his candy ass beat again. Rock posed with the WWE title, and that ended the opening segment of SmackDown. Said to be a really good segment to open up SmackDown this Friday night. So there you go. That's where we're at right now on WWE SmackDown. All they've taped is the opening segment with Rock and John Laurinaitis. They basically brought John Laurinaitis. I mean, I wouldn't expect Laurinaitis to be back full time. It was basically, like Boone said, a lot of people involved. The People's Elbow, the People's Champion, and People Power. Basically bring John Laurinaitis back for one night, job him out, and get The Rock over, and that was that. I wouldn't expect to see John Laurinaitis, back full time in WWE.
No.
So there you go.
It was for the one joke. That's all. That's The Rock for you. I mean, lately it's like a tour of this is why this city's important to me. This is why I had hard coming up. Like it's a story of his career as opposed to the story of Rock versus Cena. It's like, this is my fucking story, and oh yeah, I gotta fight this guy in a couple weeks.
If you didn't, to be honest with you,
afterthought.
if you didn't say anything about, I mean, I know I brought it up with the whole People Power thing, but the whole, the People's Champion and the People's Elbow and the People Power, that didn't cross my mind right away. That was pretty good.
You
picked that up.
If you look at it on paper, you're in the middle of reading a recap. You're not analyzing while you're reading. You're just reading. I'm sitting here listening, so I'm analyzing, and I'm like, oh Christ, they did it that length just so he could do a people joke. Like,
let me ask the people in the chat room, because I know I'm not the only one that didn't see that until Boone brought it up.
I think
man.
you might be, dude.
You think so? Maybe because, like you said,
so.
I was reading it, dude. But I think some of the people missed that until you brought that up. See, Ron G in the chat, Ron Jit says, you know what I mean? He missed it. So a lot of people in the chat room didn't see it. I wasn't the only one. There you go.
I thought it was obvious, but okay.
Holy hell! Look at this guy. Ryback in the chat. Jesus Christ, my man. Holy hell.
Wow, what did he do?
That's the longest. That might be the longest message in the chat I've ever seen. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Brian? Gotta say, good show tonight. I gotta say, Boone, fuck off. Ain't nobody got time for you. I gotta talk to Ryan now. Anyway, check it out. I left you a rapid fire question last week where I asked about the DC Raw show coming up on Monday. They don't have a SmackDown taping for Tuesday, so I guess they're shoving it all into one show. Do you think that's going to be the Raw starting at 6:30? Going for 3 hours and then taping SmackDown after, and Raw would actually be on a tape delay on TV, or...
Whoa. What happened there? That was weird. You know what? He did ask that question last week, man. Why isn't there a SmackDown taping on Tuesday? Is SmackDown live? Is SmackDown live on Friday night? No, they wouldn't do it live. There's got to be a TV taping on Tuesday. Unless they're taping it, why would they tape it at Raw, right? Why the night after WrestleMania? Why would you have? There's got to be a location for that. I don't think you're gonna.
Maybe they could be one of two reasons. Maybe they're going. Maybe one of the teams is going overseas, so they need to get the TV done before they leave, or maybe they get a break after WrestleMania. Like they don't have to.
Well, I know. Next week they'll probably do the thing, live cut-ins from Access. You know what I mean? They normally do that. The week of WrestleMania, but the following, the week after WrestleMania, I'm not sure. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey guys, just two quick questions. First of all, the whole thing about the Undertaker streak, it's just that, from our understanding, what you guys have been talking about in Plus WWE is that the future of WWE, from one superstar is supposed to end the Undertaker streak. So who better than CM Punk? So that's why basically this angle might make sense. Obviously, the Undertaker is going to win, but that's where I'm going with that. But number two, also, do you remember last year? Wasn't Zack Ryder supposed to fight Dolph Ziggler in a dark match for the Internet Championship? But thank you very much, and I'll listen. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I remember there was something last year with an IWC. It was our fucking thing, Internet Wrestling Community, the IWC Championship. Wasn't there something like that?
Right, Zack Ryder came out with an internet belt that he had. Oh, turn those speakers down. I gotta bring you back in a minute, dude. If you guys are calling up live, turn your speakers down real quick, and then when you guys hear us on the other end of the telephone, you guys can chime in with us. But no, Zack Ryder had an internet championship belt that he came out. It was basically Zack Ryder did the whole YouTube show that he did, trying to make a name for himself, did the whole internet title type thing that he had. And there were plans to push Zack Ryder, and they did for a little bit. The whole angle with John Cena that he was in. Ugh. And then I burped. And then
did you open the beer? Is that what's going on?
I did. I'm drinking a beer right now, man. I've got two of them right here. But anyways, yeah. But Zack Ryder's kind of in the doghouse. He's been for a long time, and he's just a guy that's probably never going to get over in WWE. He's going to be he's going to be big on the internet, but other than that, I just, he didn't get the crowd reactions that they wanted, So, caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up? Caller. That's
yes,
it?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've got these cheeseburgers, and I don't know what to do with them. I was thinking of sticking them up Matt Boone's ass.
Oh, he's gonna have a field day with you. I'm gonna let him have at it. I'm gonna let him.
A 6-year-old talking shit about ain't it time for your bedtime, home? Why don't you go fucking get tucked in by your cunt slut mother and fucking wake up and have your little.
Oh yeah. What?
I don't know.
That's it. He's got
what were they saying? I was gonna play off of that line, but I couldn't hear what he was repeating.
He's still on here right now. You want to talk to him? Have at him.
What the fuck was the little fucking midget fucking piece of shit saying? What the fuck, man? It's past your bedtime. Go get tucked in by your cunt or mother, and then come back and talk to me when it's big boy time, okay? Right now you're a little big. You must be this cocksucker. You ain't big enough. You dig?
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm questioning.
Yes. Are you Justin? You sound like Justin Bieber a
Why
little bit.
are you guys so attracted to transvestites?
Why are we so what to websites?
Attracted to me because it pays. Ryan because he's a mark.
Oh, because I make money off of it, dude. He sounds like he sounded a little bit like Justin Bieber, didn't he, man? Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Yes. I called earlier about the whole Ric Flair situation, and there was someone that posted in the chat room that apparently he's doing pretty good right now, but that could be a possibility for right now. As far as he might be doing all right now, I just hope it doesn't turn out to be something serious the way it happened to Paul Bearer. Do you know any more information on that?
What name did he bring up?
He's talking about Ric Flair, man. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
we don't have any other details as of right now, as it pertains to what happened yesterday. But hopefully he went to a hospital today,
He was supposed to get seen today, right? And we haven't heard whether or not he went.
Right, we'll find out. Probably find out more later this week. But hopefully he went to a hospital today. I mean, they sent him. It wasn't like he was in the IC unit or anything like that yesterday. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything like that. So, they basically sent him back to Charlotte and told him to follow up with the doctor today. And that was the plan, So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Guys, you can go to our live chat room, WZROnline.com. /chat. God, those are some of the people like that kid that called up just a couple of minutes ago. Those are some of the people that we deal with that visit the websites. You know what I mean? And then you guys wonder, who are the trolls? Who are all these trolls that comment on the websites? People like that, man.
It was fun. The only thing that sucks is I like to fucking, like I said, what was it, 1 week when the motherfuckers, I told you guys, I'm like, man, I have nothing on you. You're some stranger calling in. I have nothing except for your accent and the words you say. So if I can't hear what you're saying, all I can really do is generic.
But you know what?
Right?
You know what though? The
These
generic.
fuckers get to hear me for 12 years. They got all kinds of ammunition on me.
But here's the thing.
Weak.
I know. What are
children.
you? 27 years old or 28? What
28.
Are you? 28.
Man, 29 in July.
I know. But you can come up with a better comeback. I mean, this is a pet peeve
Dude, I
of
had
mine.
a great line.
Well, wait a minute.
I said, it's past your bedtime. I said, you must be this tall to ride the ride. That was
Right.
good, because he was a little young kid.
You must
That's
be.
all I had. I couldn't hear what he was saying.
I know. You must be this tall to ride the ride. That was a good one. I'll give you that, dude. I like that one. But it's like when somebody comes up, your mother, your mother.
I didn't know. I was
You
saying
said
it's past your bedtime. You don't have your fucking mother
no,
tuck you in.
you said something about his cunt mother or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
Listen, jerk off. You want me to do it against you right now? I said I
Yes.
was making a joke about how she's too young. It's past his bedtime. Go have your cunt whore mother tuck you in. It was an age joke, not a mother joke.
Yeah, but mom jokes are just, I don't know. You still reference the mother. You know what I mean? Mom jokes are.
What's your big protection of everybody's mother? Fuck
No, I'm not. Fuck your mother, motherfucker. She ain't shit, dude.
Fuck her. I can give two shits.
Maybe I have, dude.
You know damn well I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want.
Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
You guys are fucking comical, man. I swear to God. You guys are fucking comical. Yo, Blue, he's down, man. You're gonna blow up all heart attack, man. He's down, bro. You got it. All right, let me count to 10 real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a couple questions before you guys cut me loose. What do you guys think about that UFC fighter, Kyle, whatever the fuck his name is, talking shit about wrestlers and McMahon and all that shit? And then the second thing I wanted to ask is, what do you guys think about superstar Billy Graham talking about how The Rock didn't take the championship to the Lano show, and he goes to show you that wrestling is in a down spiral and all of that? What do you guys think about that?
Thanks for the questions, man. The first question that he had.
I didn't hear the name. What name did he say?
I think he's talking about Chael Sonnen, man, where
okay.
he's basically come out and they've been hyping this whole mega fight up between Dana White came out in an interview and said that he had never said this before, but Vince McMahon had come to him a couple of years ago and challenged him to a fight. Basically, it would either happen in a UFC octagon or in a WWE wrestling ring, right? So Chael Sonnen comes out and basically calls out Vince McMahon and calls him a pussy. You know how Chael is, man. I feel like Chael was more joking when he said it because Chael's been friends with CM Punk for a while, right? Remember when CM Punk was
Chael's whole gimmick is ripping off wrestlers, including Superstar Billy Graham, which was the second question. But yeah, he had to have been joking. I didn't hear the promo, but I guarantee you it was like just defending the company, defending the UFC, defending Uncle Dana, and shitting on the opposition, but he's a huge wrestling fan.
Right. If you know anything about Chael, the way he said it was on UFC Tonight or UFC Primetime, one of those shows.
Oh, that was a promo. Yeah, he does those all the time.
Right. It seemed like it was more of a joke. And then as far as superstar Billy Graham, I thought the most interesting comments that he made in that interview that we put up on the websites were towards Bruno Sammartino, where he basically came out and said, Bruno's had a hatred for Vince McMahon and WWE for years and years and years, and he basically sold out, and Bruno has been so against lying, don't lie, always tell the truth, but then Bruno comes out and says, I was only paid $5,000 for the Hall of Fame appearance. Well, you're lying, because you were paid way more.
Maybe there's a technicality involved, because maybe he was paid $5,000 in the contract for that, but like all the other money was thrown in for the documentary, the DVD, whatever, even though maybe it was like, well, really, we want him for the Hall of Fame. We'll just pretend like $890,000 of this $1 million is for the DVD, not the Hall of Fame, even though it's all the same money. He just wants him to do these two things.
Well, that's true. That's true. They would have paid him, like what Boone's saying is, they would have paid him $5,000 for the Hall of Fame, and then you're gonna have DVDs and TV appearances and everything like that, and it's gonna be in the low, the low six figures, $100,000, $200,000 that he's gonna be paid, and then royalties and everything like that from DVDs, that he's gonna get as well.
Superstar Billy Graham ain't got no fucking room to talk. He goddamn started that whole steroid fucking controversy, Vince McMahon versus the government, that whole fucking thing. And then when he fucking needed money, he went crawling back and made up with him and shit. So he's a fucking hypocrite, but he's also the man. He's awesome.
This may be that kid calling back. We'll see. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Yeah, I just want to apologize for that before. Really, I just want to apologize for Matt Boone. He's a piece of shit. Also, I love you, Ryan Clark.
I love you too, brother. I love you right back, man.
Is this the fucking little 8-year-old you were telling me about? This is the little fucking boy you banging shit? Dude, you get your boyfriend off the phone. There ain't no wonder he's talking all this shit about me. He's jealous because I fucking told him about ripping your asshole off. Hey, you're going to New York.
He ain't got no problem with me, man. I got no problem with him. He's just a fan of the show. He doesn't like you. I ain't got no problem with him, dude. He's being nice to me. No problems here, brother.
I don't want to do a mother joke, but I probably banged his mom somewhere a couple years ago and he fucking found out about it. That kid does a radio show? Oh, I'm calling in. You know what I mean? Give him a piece of candy, he'll forget everything like that. So put something shiny in front of his face. He'll be distracted. You'll punch him in the fucking mouth.
WWE's in Hershey, Pennsylvania tonight, speaking of candy, right? No doubt. Caller.
There you go. Go learn about candy asses, bitch.
Speaking of bitches. What's up, Callie? No, I'm playing, dude. What's going on? What's up, dude?
Hey, one quick question. I hear Bobby Lashley is in the talks. I read with, I think with Bellator. So let's say he makes it. How far do you see him making it in Bellator if they sign him? You think?
Not far at all, man. I mean, I think we've seen in the last fight or two with Lashley that he's no Brock Lesnar and he's no shit. You probably couldn't even say he's no Ken Shamrock. Like he's not a wrestler that's going to have any success on a legitimate scale in MMA. I mean, look at King Mo. King Mo couldn't make it past his first fight in Bellator, and he's legit.
Oh, come on, dude. King Mo, that was one of those fluke knockouts, bro. I mean, come on, dude.
King Mo's had a couple fluke things happen to him that I'm wondering if it's a fluke or if he was just overhyped. Well, we'll see. I mean, time will tell. But Lashley, you could just tell by watching him fight, he doesn't have the talent, and he's too old, he's too gassed up, and it's not gonna happen.
If you guys want to call us right now, you can do so. It's 518-712-3070. We rarely plug the number. You know that, dude? We never give the number out.
I haven't heard you say that number in months, I don't think. And we get callers for the entire hour every week.
No, I always forget about it, man. We need some new callers,
What is your theory out the water that they're all scared to call because of me? Some weeks maybe they just don't feel like calling. You don't plug the number.
Call 518-712-3070. Give us a call right now. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey guys, I'm sorry, I called before. I had one more question. Do you think that WWE took into account that New York City and New Jersey hates John Cena? Thank you.
What do you say?
Have we taken into account that New York City and New Jersey hates John Cena? Well, I mean, listen, no matter where they go, I mean, across the country in the United States, especially when they're in the Northeast and in Canada, I mean, John Cena, he's even referenced the reaction. I think he did last night, where he comes out, and a lot of times it's a mixed reaction. Some people hate him, some people love him, and that's the way they're going about the boos that he gets, man. They're having John come out and straight up address it.
I think what he meant was, like, that's the main event, so it's the last match. He's going to win because Rock won last year. How are they going to have the show ending with the fucking guttural hatred and booing of John Cena? That's just not a good send-him-home happy kind of feeling to end WrestleMania on, you know what I mean? But hopefully, I was going to bring this up earlier. We were breaking down the top matches. Cena Rock can't do a swerve there. Cena has to go over. Taker Punk, they're not going to do a swerve there. Taker's got to go over. Continue the streak. Triple H Brock, I think that's where we're going to get the fucking swerve, man. I really do.
Triple H and Brock? What do you mean, like Triple
Yeah.
H losing the match or
Yeah. Yes.
and then retiring? Yeah. I mean, it's a possibility.
Something like that. That's got to be where the swerve comes. What other match could they pull a swerve? Maybe the Ziggler swerve with the briefcase, but I don't think that's big enough. I think one of the top 3 matches has to have that. We don't know who's going to win, or whoever we thought was going to win doesn't win. Because there's no way. Everybody thinks Undertaker's going to win, and guess what? He is. They have to.
Right.
Everybody thinks John Cena's going to win. Guess what? He is. He has to.
Right.
Everybody thinks Triple H is going to win, but he doesn't have to. And quite frankly, he shouldn't.
Right.
But we'll see what happens.
Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey guys, great show. Ryan, you made a point about how you think that Ziggler's going to cash in at WrestleMania. In that fact, he's going after Jack Swagger. Do you think he's going to become a face? And Boone, how do you feel about the Lions picking up Reggie Bush?
The Lions got Reggie Bush?
They must have.
Wow, I didn't hear that. So we got Calvin Johnson, Reggie Bush, and Matt Stafford. Okay. All right.
Dude, Reggie Bush is worn up, dude. He's been fucking, dude.
Hey man, maybe he needs a new offense to play in. Maybe you never know.
Ever since he split with Kim Kardashian, Reggie Bush has been a nobody. Get out of here. Reggie Bush is nothing, dude. Get out of here. As far as I didn't think about that. If Jack Swagger wins the WWE, I mean, they may have Del Rio retain the WWE title and then have Dolph come out and cash in on him so that Dolph can remain a heel. But you're right. If Jack Swagger wins the title, and then Dolph Ziggler comes out, that's basically heel on heel for a brief time until.
Well, it would be the perfect time to turn him too. Have him cash in because he's gonna get a pop for cashing in and winning because it's unexpected. So go with that pop, have him fucking turn on Vicky again and do the angle that should have happened months ago and really do it right this time. But we'll see.
And then have AJ Lee could stay with Biggie Langston as a heel, as a heel team.
Yeah, I forgot they had that whole clique now.
Right. Well, they could do that and then have Dolph Ziggler go off on his own with the World Heavyweight title. I mean, he wouldn't need AJ and Biggie Langston then anyways. Not that he needs them right now, Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
In your opinion, do you think Cena kind of turned heel last night? Kind of seemed like that way to me.
You know what? A couple of people brought that up on Facebook. By the way,
I've heard that idea floated too.
By the way, this.
You want to take that one?
Well, no, you can take it, but I'm just letting you know this little kid, bro, is just not. No, I'm not.
Fucking shit talking I can do here.
No, I know. I haven't taken it, dude, but it's nonstop. Where this poor kid, this poor kid's got to be hitting the redial button over and over, and I just keep hitting the ignore button straight in his face, too. But it's over and over and over and over again. He's got to be sitting there on his telephone, redial.
He's got to be on the West Coast. Clearly it's past his bedtime, and it is a school night, so there's no fucking way he's on the East Coast. But anyway, I digress. John Cena heel turn. I don't think that guy will ever turn heel, honestly. They should, but who knows? But no, I don't think he was turning heel last night. I think he made a dumb fucking analogy about Donovan McNabb that nobody gave a shit about. And but no, I think he was almost like resigning and saying like, okay, Rock's the good guy in this one, I'm the bad guy, and he's kind of just playing into that a little bit. But I don't think he's planting the seeds for any heel turn. I didn't see any of that. Evidence of that.
Yeah. Well, all right. Hold on 1 second.
What are you busy with?
I'm not busy with anybody. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Okay. You're not typing right now with somebody.
I'm not typing to anybody. Hold on a minute. Yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. I
Ain't
don't
nobody
question
got
for
time for
Boone.
that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. 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 Ain't nobody got time for that.
Anybody got time? Anybody got time for little young ass? Little punk bitch? Anybody got time for you?
Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that.
And go to sleep. It's past your bedtime. You must be this tall to ride the fucking ride. Take your ass home and go to sleep. Your ass is 10 years old.
Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up? Caller, you're live. WZR Radio, what's up? Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. I got nervous. He hung up, man. Hung up. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, I had a question. Do you guys, what's the deal with Jay-Z and John Cena? I know he had a tweet, but at the same time, like, for the previous WrestleMania, did they announce, like, the musical acts in advance, or what's going on with that? Thanks.
It's a good question, man.
There's a thing with Jay-Z going on?
There's a thing with John Cena sent out a tweet the other day, right? And he basically sent the tweet to Jay-Z and said, I could use some help at WrestleMania, to Jay-Z. So a lot of people had said, is Jay-Z going to be at WrestleMania? Then I got an email earlier today from, I told you guys earlier, Ranjit or Ranjit, who helps us out a lot. He sent an email and said, I've heard that John Cena will be using Till I Collapse by Eminem at WrestleMania as his WrestleMania entrance. Eminem's from Detroit. Jay-Z, obviously, being from New York, it would make more sense to use a guy like Jay-Z. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but it was interesting that John Cena had sent out a tweet to Jay-Z.
Yeah, he probably is garnering self-interest and shit. But I remember it brings up two thoughts in my head. One, Jay-Z has nothing to promote, and he's not going to go do that just for fun. Two, actually it's in New York, maybe he will. But two, I remember one year, wasn't John Cena, they were trying really hard to get, I think it was Eminem and or Fabulous, the rapper, and then maybe one other, and they were trying to get him to do a freestyle battle against John Cena when he was still doing the Thug Life character. And none of them agreed to do it, so they just had cardboard cut-offs of Eminem and Fabulous, and he came out and did a rap against all of them. But I always thought, man, he's pretty good at freestyle, but if you have Eminem come out on a live WrestleMania pay-per-view, he's going to fucking destroy John. Do people not see 8 Mile?
Yeah, but you know what? By the way, dude, I mean, with WWE WrestleMania being in New York, I mean, Jay-Z's got a clothing line. He's got a lot of stuff that he could promote, man.
Yeah,
it would make sense,
yeah,
man.
he could always promote it anytime. But I think New York, just because he wouldn't have to travel, maybe he would. But I was saying, Jay-Z Jay-Z's very famous, like Robert De Niro, for never going on talk shows. And when he doesn't say shit. He's boring, But he will go out. Like, he had a book come out. He went on Howard Stern.
All right, dude, but you're also...
But he has nothing coming out right now.
Right, but you're also not talking a little event, dude. You're talking 60, 70,000 people, WrestleMania, dude, Jay-Z being a big pro wrestler. What's in it for him, dude? Like I said, he's got a clothing line. He's got a lot of stuff that they could promote for him. And what's in it for him? Who wouldn't want to go out there and perform in front of 60,000, 70,000 people?
By the way. I think he sold Rockaware to Damon Dash.
Yeah, but who wouldn't want to go out there and perform in front of 60,000, 70,000 people with over 1 million people ordering on pay-per-view? It's not a small event, dude. It's not a small event. Come on, man.
But there's nothing in it for him. Why? Like, he and Eminem did concerts in stadiums a couple years where they had their own 60,000 fucking people crowd that knew every word of their songs. You gotta go out to WrestleMania. Nobody's gonna give a shit about Jay-Z. Like last year, look at Machine Gun Kelly getting booed out of the building trying to sing fucking John Cena to the ring.
Oh my god, are you kidding me, dude? If Jay-Z came out at WrestleMania 29, dude, in New Jersey, in New York City, bro, it would be a big deal.
Once he starts singing, they wouldn't give a fuck.
He'd be a big. He's a hometown. He's a hometown guy, and they're trying to get John Cena over, and to bring a guy. To bring John Cena out with a guy like Jay-Z doing his entrance theme, dude, it'd be a big deal, man. Why not?
It would be a big deal. I'm not disagreeing, but Jay-Z, you'd have to be a big fan of Jay-Z like me to realize that guy's not going to do it. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool and it wouldn't make sense, but it's not going to happen. The guy doesn't do media at all unless he's got something he's really promoting hard, and just because he happens to have a clothing line, which I don't think he does anymore. I think he gave that or sold that to Damon Dash when they broke up, but anyways, just because he has a business he can promote doesn't mean he's going to do it. It would have to be something specific he's out promoting already, and all stop at WrestleMania while I'm on my tour.
Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Well, first of all, your show is fucking awesome. I love it.
I love the New York. Hey, your show is fucking awesome. I love that accent.
It sounds like a setup.
No, he's from New York. I can tell. That's New York or Boston. It's one of the two, right? Am I right?
Oh, yeah, Bronx in the house.
There you go. What's going on, buddy?
Real quick, what do you guys think about the recent sellouts of WWE that are hitting a hot point? What do you guys think about that? And also, what do you guys think about they're almost breaking the record of WrestleMania 3? I think they're gonna put about 90,000 people in that dome.
Where's WrestleMania 30? So I heard they're selling all their houses, like even little shit towns too. I don't know what.
They're not. They sold out a house show, dude, but the arena only held 6,000 people. I mean, for WWE live events, for house shows, they're drawing 6,000 or 7,000 people, which is good, man. And they are hitting a hot point. We just put that up on the website, man, right before we came on the air here. They expect SummerSlam to sell out, and not only that, but tickets for SummerSlam went on sale this past weekend, and the show is already nearly sold out. So that's big news already for them. WrestleMania is going to draw 70,000, 80,000 people at MetLife Stadium. Next year's WrestleMania 30 in the Superdome in New Orleans is probably going to draw 70,000, 80,000 people once again. This is good for WWE, but also keep in mind that it is WrestleMania time, and every year during WrestleMania, business does go up for house shows and gates and attendance and things of that nature. And ratings, the Raw rating came out today, 3.1, 3.2, so we're back above the 3, which is good, man. I mean, there was a time where they were down at like 2.7, 2.8 just a couple of months ago. We'll see what happens after WrestleMania, but the signs right now are obviously good news for WWE. We need to do
business is up. I mean, it should be. They're spending so much money to bring in Rock and Brock and all these guys to pop their business. If their business didn't pop, that would be pretty fucking disappointing. But what was I gonna say? Superdome, is that confirmed next year? They're not doing the Garden?
No, they're in, for WrestleMania 30 is New Orleans. They confirmed that a couple of weeks ago.
WrestleMania 1 was the Garden, 10 was the Garden. I think 20, Hollywood Garden, right? So this is the first increment of 10 they're not doing in the Garden.
This is nuts. This is nuts. All right. You didn't hear
it's nuts. I couldn't make out which drop that was. I knew you were playing the drop. I gotta get a fucking better phone. I can't hear the callers. It bugs me when they're talking shit, and I can't use it against them. But anyway.
All right, let's do rapid fire, and then we will let you guys go for the night. Actually, you want some SmackDown spoilers? We never finished up. We never finished up Raw. The only other thing, there was a Divas match, AJ Lee and Caitlyn. That was a non-title match. We talked about Ryback and 3MB. The main event was kind of cool. It was the Q&A segment with Rock and John Cena. They brought out Booker T, Mick Foley, Dusty Rhodes, Bret Hart made a return, and basically they all got one question each, and John Cena and Rock went back and forth. We kind of opened the show, talking about that,
Yeah, I mean, The Rock. Who do you think did better? I think The Rock killed it.
Rock did great last night, no doubt about that.
He's been doing really good. Last year, I really thought Cena got the better of a lot of their verbal exchanges. Mm-hmm. This year, like we said, the last 2 weeks it was a video package, but the week before that, The Rock spanked him like a little kid. Last night, Cena did really good, but Rock was just on a different level. I mean, Rock's outperforming him this year.
After speaking of SmackDown, man, SmackDown spoilers. We ran this down earlier. The Rock and John Laurinaitis return. They did the whole, he hit the rock bottom or the people's elbow on People Power. Chris Jericho defeated Wade Barrett with the Code Breaker. Said to be a pretty good match there. Paul Heyman was backstage with Josh Matthews. Heyman said it was a must-lose situation for Triple H and a must-win for Brock Lesnar. You brought this up earlier. They had the Ryback against Mark Henry. It was a bench press challenge is what it was built up to be. Booker T and Teddy Long came out. They introduced both Mark Henry and Ryback. Lots of feed me more chants for Ryback. Henry came out to some decent heat. Booker T said if they got physical, then their match at WrestleMania will be off and they'll be banned from the show. Henry won a coin toss and went first. He benched 220 pounds 54 times. Apparently this was...
Wait. First of all, I was going to say, it's funny, usually they'll have like 100 pounds on the bottom and say, all right, he's about to bench 400. They just lie about the weight. You're telling me they did 220, which sounds legit, and they sat there while he benched 54 fucking reps in a row?
54 times, and apparently...
Oh my God.
Apparently they built it up that it was a new record, man. And here's where they got the idea.
They probably shooting on this, huh? What?
I don't know. Over the weekend, a high school wrestler, a senior in high school, beat Mark Henry's deadlift record. All right? Yeah. So WWE gets this bright idea. A high school wrestler beats Mark Henry's record, right? So we're going to do the same thing pretty much on SmackDown, but have Mark Henry and Ryback do it. And then Mark Henry comes out.
Yeah, I can picture this one I saw on your Facebook.
And then
they're like, sigh.
All right, so keep in mind that a record was set over the weekend, right? Mark Henry's record was beaten. So they have Mark Henry come out, benches 220 pounds 54 times, and they build it up a new record, right? Just to say, fuck you, Mark Henry's record was defeated over the weekend. Now he just set a brand new record right now on SmackDown. It's basically, where do you think WWE gets their creative ideas from? Come on now, dude. You know what I mean, dude? It's come on. So he benches 220 pounds 54 times. This is a new record. Ryback is on the way. He's benching 220 pounds, and he's about to break the record that Mark Henry just set. And Mark Henry jumps in and shoves the bar down across his throat. Ryback gets helped to the back, and there were "Feed Me More" chants, and that was the end of the segment. So just as Ryback is about to break the record, he's about to do it. It's the whole build-up is Mark Henry is the stronger guy than Ryback, and there's no way in hell that Ryback is going to be able to get Mark Henry up on his shoulders and you know, for the shell shock at WrestleMania. There's no way that's going to happen, and that's going to be the big WrestleMania moment. You know, you can see that from a mile away. You know,
you keep saying that phrase, big WrestleMania moment. I don't see how it's a big deal at all. I know that because they're building it up, little kids will be like, "Wow, you actually did it," but that's not a moment. Even doing his finishing move to a jobber.
It's a big moment, dude, for a new guy like Ryback.
I get what you mean, but it's not a WrestleMania moment. Is Hogan Flair and Andre? It's fucking the ladder match. It's fucking Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Those are moments. Ryback fucking hitting the shell shock on Mark Henry. That's not a moment. That's just a fucking filler match. Unbelievable.
All right. All right. Here we go with the.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right. With the rapid fire segment. Here we go, man. Let's get through it. Ranjit Kahal. With Triple H gaining more power and control within the company, is it possible that Vince screws Triple H at WrestleMania, saying no one, not even his own son-in-law, will take over my company, thus retiring him?
It would make no sense because if you remember, the start to this angle was Vince and Heyman, and Triple H came out and made the save. So
right.
Or Brock came out to beat up Vince because Vince beat up Heyman and Triple H made the save. So I mean, they could, but they'd have to explain that, and why bother with all that? Also wants to know, Boone, what do you think of Nick Diaz's camp wanting GSP to fight Diaz at 170 pounds or else vacate the belt due to the weigh-in scandal? Did you hear about this?
I did. The whole weigh-in scandal with the Montreal Athletic Commission. I did.
It's funny that the two things they said is they want him to rematch him at 170 or drop the belt. Clearly it's a play for money. Diaz is all about money, and it's a money play. It's like, wait a minute, the rules. So for anybody who doesn't know the story, you have to weigh in at 170 on the dot if you're the 170-pound champion. If it's a title fight, you have to weigh 170 on the dot. You can't weigh 170.5, 170.8. So you have to do 170 on the dot. Okay. He didn't weigh 170 on the dot. GSP, the champion, he weighed 170.9. Diaz loses the fight. Now he's protesting. He didn't follow the rules and regulations. Now, basically, what happens if you fail to make weight is you give up 20% of your purse to your opponent. And 20% of George St. Pierre's purse is millions of dollars. So, but anyway, I'm not going to talk anymore. Go ahead.
I'm fucking with
you. Ask me a question if it's boring, dude. What the fuck did you ask me?
I'm fucking with you, dude. Go ahead and answer.
I do this big build-up to the fucking whole moral of the story, and then right when I get there, I hear a trumpet blaring in my fucking ear like a brass fart or something.
No, he asked the question. He really did ask the question. He wanted an answer, dude. You're right. I mean, it's will he fight at 170 pounds is basically what he wants to know.
Well, I mean, he did. I mean, he was 170.9, so it's a technicality, but it's a technicality that if they follow the law, 20% of GSP's money is supposed to go to Diaz, and GSP makes several million a fight. I mean, several million a fight. So you take 20% of several million, that's a nice chunk of change.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it.
Steven Krabaic, well, I thought Nick Diaz retired anyways, you know what I mean? That's what he said after the fight.
But as soon as he said he retired, he did a post-fight interview with Helwani and said, unless I can get a rematch. He's like, I think I can stop the takedowns, I'll kick his ass. And he went nuts again.
Kick his ass?
He told everybody at the post-fight press conference that he never paid his taxes and he's going to go to jail.
Yeah, I heard.
He's a fucking nut job.
I heard about that, dude. And then he came out on TMZ, dude, and his camp denied it and said, no, he was just joking, dude. Of course he's paid his taxes.
It's public record. So
yeah.
It's dumb for him to say because now everybody's going to go look it up, but whatever.
Steven Graveic, who's the bigger joke as a babyface, The Miz or Alberto Del Rio? I'd say The Miz, dude, just because he's so cocky, cocky heel.
Who's like the lesser baby? Like who's a shittier babyface?
The bigger joke, yeah, as a babyface.
Okay, yeah, I would say Del Rio actually.
Really, dude?
Retarded. I mean, yeah, they're going to get the Mexican audience to like him, and they have him say shit like he made all his money in America, and so it just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's retarded.
Ian Jones, WZR Radio twice a week, or a 3-hour or so, or the WZR Army will riot. They all want 3 hours, man. It's crazy. Tuesday night is so busy with SmackDown and everything else. If anything...
3 hours, I'll say this. 3 hours, because some weeks I'm not into it, and if you ask me to do a 3-hour show on it, that's like fucking torture. But I will say, 2 shows a week doesn't sound out of the question to me, because there's so much shit that happens that usually by the time we roll around to the next 2, like shit will happen like as soon as we get off the air, and then shit will happen Wednesday. And by the time Tuesday rolls around again, that's old news, so it's worthless to talk about. But if we did the show like on the weekend, that would be some hot shit to talk about, But there's always events on the weekend.
Two shows a week I could do, as long as I don't have to pay you for the second show. Then we could do it.
I'm not gonna charge you more to shut up. I'm just talking about the idea of doing more shows. Yeah, I couldn't do 3 hours. It's just too long.
That is too long.
2 shows a week. Yeah.
But 2 shows a week I would definitely look into. Steve Williams Jr., Ryan and Matt, do you think Taker is teasing everyone maybe the return of the evil gimmick that he used to have? I don't think so.
Of The Undertaker?
Yeah.
No, come on. That's retarded with the Paul Bearer. No.
Vinny Mo, wasn't Brock Lesnar supposed to be at Raw? How come there was no Brock? You know what it is? They're trying to keep, when The Rock's on Raw, Brock isn't on Raw. And when Brock's on Raw, Rock isn't on Raw. That may change next week as we're 1 week away from WrestleMania, but after WrestleMania, there's supposed to be a subtle tease between Rock and Brock Lesnar, and there's a reason why they've kept them...
They're doing that match next year at WrestleMania. I thought that out weeks ago, and you thought it was crazy. I said I heard they're trying to do Brock and Rock next year.
I never called you crazy for that. We knew that was happening.
You downplayed it. You can listen to the archive. It's on there, but you downplayed it. You're like, I doubt it or something. I'm like, that's what I heard.
Justin Nestor, Matt Boone is gay. How painful is X-Pac's ass? I-10. And how has the beefy pussy in WWE? Huh?
Who has? What was the beefy pussy line? I didn't hear that last one.
How painful is X-Pac ass? I-10. And how has the beefy pussy in WWE?
Wow. Oh, and who has the beefy pussy? Probably what you meant to say. I don't know what that X-Pac ripped the ass shit is. I mean, it's not my ass. I couldn't tell you how it feels. Ask him.
I'm sure it doesn't feel good.
But,
oh, Jesus. Brandon Parker, now that David Otunga, Matt Silva, and referee Charles Robinson have all retweeted the WZROnline.com link, are they members of the WZR Army? I would say so, man. They retweeted
I would say that makes them qualify. Yeah, absolutely.
That's definitely...
You show love the WZR on Twitter, and you got more than 10,000 followers. I'd say that makes you part of the Army. Shit.
By the way, can you say Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar. Brock? Brock. Not Brock.
I think, what did he say? Because maybe you say it like, maybe he wants you to say it like Vince.
Brock Lesnar. What?
You got to stick to your fired with the Vince one. That wasn't that good.
All right, Jordan the Champ Paveo. Do you think Caitlyn and AJ will be added to the Team Hell No versus Ziggler and Big E match? I was thinking that, man. But they need a Divas match on WrestleMania, so that may be it, unless they come up with something different.
Diva Battle Royal?
Diva Battle Royal, something like that, dude. I think they're gonna.
Well, yeah. Never know.
AJ Clark.
They had an hour-long pre-show this year, right? So it's like a 5-hour event. They got a 4-hour pay-per-view block and then an hour pre-show, so it's 5 hours of. It's like almost like a UFC where you start on Facebook and fucking 7 hours later you're finishing up the pay-per-view.
Yeah, don't forget that WrestleMania starts at 7 o'clock. 7 to 11,
yep.
And then you get the pre-show at 6 o'clock. AJ Clark, will you do a special WZR radio the Saturday before WrestleMania 29 like you did last year? Ryan Clark's biggest fan. We are going to do a WrestleMania show. I just got to talk to Boone about it. I haven't said anything to him about it yet, but we do one every year We just need to come up with a time and a date that works.
Sure, WrestleMania is if you want me to sit on the phone for fucking the entire weekend, WrestleMania, I'll do that. It's our biggest weekend.
Yeah, it's basically our Super Bowl, and we always do a special WrestleMania show. So we'll give
deliver the kids. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, it'll be in addition to our normal Tuesday show. It may air on like a Saturday or even a Sunday. I don't know. We'll come up with a date, man, but it'll be at some point next week, and we'll put it up on the websites for you. Brandon Dub Levins, is Kofi in the doghouse backstage for something? It seems like he's going to end up in the Jobber Battle Royal pre-show before WrestleMania 29. I think Kofi's always going to be that guy, man, where he's always going to be a mid-card guy. He's never going to make it to the main event, you know? But he's not in the doghouse, no.
We've told the story a million times, but there was that when he threw the pan on the car and all that shit. I mean, he was getting over like Rover, and they pumped the brakes and haven't gone back to it since. And I don't know why, but I mean, the way the guy wrestles, and the way he's over with kids, he could be the fucking Jamaican John Cena as far as I'm concerned. But they don't seem to agree.
We're going 5 minutes late here. West Broom, why you gotta spoil The Apprentice, man? I love that show. Sunday night, I'm telling you, it's the best show on TV. You gotta watch it, Celebrity Apprentice. But I forget that there's people on the West Coast and they don't get to see it when we do. So my apologies for spoiling it. Ross Briffett, you gotta check that show out. I'm telling you, man. Ross Briffett,
Get right on that.
China's face on Nicole Bass's body, or Nicole Bass's face on China's body if you had to choose. China's face on Nicole Bass's body. Nicole.
Oh man, that's a tough. Do you know who Nicole Bass is?
Yes, dude. She used to be in WWE.
Yeah, she wrestled too. She was. They found her on Howard Stern. But oh man, her body
I'm gonna take.
fucking.
I'm gonna take China's face on Nicole Bass's body.
I don't know, man, because China's body's kind of feminine now, so I could just fucking just turn the lights out if it was Nicole Bass's face. But if it's the body, you're gonna feel that big ass fucking muscular body no matter what. I would go China's body and Nicole Bass's face. I'm afraid.
You want the real answer to the question?
What's the real? Oh yeah, what's the real answer? Nobody got time for that.
All right. Rashad Robinson, what is this thing about Hulk Hogan saying that he could be a tranny? He could beat that tranny MMA fighter. Fallon Fox, man. Hulk Hogan came out and said, yeah, he'd beat her ass. Fallon Fox has no right to be in MMA. It's that simple, man. It's that simple.
Who?
Fallon Fox, the transgender MMA fighter.
Oh, that's not even worth talking about. That's so fucked up that they even try and no.
I bet she could. I bet he or she, whatever it is, could kick Hulk Hogan's ass. Anyways, dude, Hulk Hogan can barely walk,
let
man.
me put a wig on and I'll go become the UFC Women's Champion. That's just not fair. Come on.
Alexis Tyson, is WWE getting ready to start up a women's tag team division with the Bellies, Naomi, and Cameron? They know that there's a lack of depth in the current roster with the Divas, so they've contacted former Divas to try to come back. None of them, as of right now, have accepted. Beth Phoenix, Kelly, Maurice, but they're trying to call people up from NXT. They're trying to get back former Divas, and they know there's a problem with the Divas division. Coulter, Cool Dip Man, who would win a real fight, Rock or Cena? They're both quite jacked. I think it would be an evenly matched fight. I think Rock destroys them, to be honest with you.
I can't believe they actually asked that question. Who would win a real fight, Cena or Lesnar? Is that what they said?
Cena or Rock.
Oh, Cena or Rock. I thought you said Brock. I was like, wow. The Rock, I think. Rock's bigger, man. Rock's a big boy.
Yeah, Rock's jacked, man. I think.
And he's legit. I mean, Cena played football, but not at Rock's level. So Rock's probably the better athlete too.
Oh boy, we got one of these. Here we go. Ryan and Boone. Fuck one, marry one. Ain't nobody got time for that. AJ, Caitlyn, or Rosa Mendez. All right, I'll go first. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Rosa Mendez. Marry one. I'm gonna say Caitlyn because I think she's a cool chick. And fuck one, AJ. Get her out of here.
All right, I am marrying AJ because that means I can fuck her whenever I want. And I'd like to fuck her most. I'll fuck
you
Rosa
gotta
Mendez.
You gotta remember, Rosa Mendez, dude, is basically man. If you were in a relationship with her, she's got that Mexican, that hot attitude. You know what I'm saying?
I just said I'm not gonna marry Rosa Mendez. I'm just fucking Rosa Mendez because I've
Okay.
never had any Puerto Rican.
No,
blood.
you said you were
So
fucking. You said you were fucking AJ.
No, I said I'm marrying AJ because then I can fuck her wherever I want.
Okay. All right.
So I'm marrying AJ. I'm fucking Rosa Mendez and Caitlyn. I think she's the least attractive of the three, so I ain't got time for her.
Wow, Caitlin's hot, bro. Really?
She's hot. No, I'm not saying she's not hot, but between her, Rosa, and AJ, I would say she's the least attractive.
Man, I'm definitely.
I'm not
All
big
right.
on blondes.
All
I
right.
like blondes a lot. I like
Yeah.
brunettes.
All right, no doubt. Alexis Tyson, do you think if Cena wins at WrestleMania, he will turn heel, or if he lose, he will go heel? Cena is winning at WrestleMania, but no, they're gonna keep him babyface.
No, he'll win, and it'll sound like he's a heel from the reaction, but no, he'll be his mixed reaction guy as always, I think.
All right, Tommy Hunter, please play this on air. It's hilarious. At your request.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that's dangerous stuff. You too?
Time has arrived. We are broadcasting Raw live from my ass. Boom, boom! I'd rather watch two old women slap my ass. Woo! That's as tough as a chunk of my ass. Here comes the biggest ass. The big man is back. Jim Raw, 350 pounds. Say hello to my ass. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest spectacle on earth, my ass. 30 men will enter my ass. You know
What the fuck is that, dude?
I couldn't tell anything. I don't know what that was.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, dude.
Okay, that was just noise to me. I couldn't make any of that
All
out.
right.
Anyway, so we're about done here. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
And we got 5 more to go. Christopher Brown, assuming
Alright,
Swagger wins and Ziggler cashes in, wins the title, it's more likely that both stay heel, or is turning face between Swagger and Ziggler post WrestleMania. We'll see what they do with Ziggler. If Swagger wins the title, Ziggler comes out, he's going to be a babyface. If not, if Del Rio retains, Ziggler comes out, he's still going to be a heel. We talked about it earlier. I think Ziggler comes out and probably, they get him away from AJ Lee and Biggie Langston, and they turn him babyface post WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, it's like it's a ready-made feud. If he turns babyface, all they got to do is have those guys screw him over somehow, and then boom, people will root for him to beat their asses. I mean, it's been done a million times because it works, and that's the perfect thing to do if they want to turn it.
Vincent Nugent, Ryan Ahmet, do you possibly see the new champions being crowned at WrestleMania 29 with Dolph Ziggler cashing in his briefcase to win the World Heavyweight title, Biggie Langston and Dolph Ziggler winning the tag team titles, and AJ Lee winning the Divas titles? What are your overall thoughts? I think if Del Rio cashes in, he wins the title. I think Cena wins. Ziggler, cashes in, he wins the title. Cena, I think he wins the title there. The other ones, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, wasn't he kind of saying that all those guys in that group would end up with titles? AJ, we get the women's title. Biggie Langston, we get the. Okay, yeah, but who cares? I would say the world title's changing. WWE title's changing. Intercontinental title probably changing.
Muhaid.
U.S. title even on the line?
U.S. title, not as of right now, no. Maybe on the pre-show.
Yeah, a lot of titles are going to change, though. And none of them will mean anything. That's the bad part.
Muhaid, Mudgeman, Mia. If you could be a wrestler for a day, who would it be, past and present? I'd want to be somebody hardcore. I want to be like a Tommy Dreamer, somebody like that. Somebody that does tables and, crazy spots. Mick Foley, somebody like that.
I would want to be The Rock, probably, just because he gets the biggest reactions, and it would be the biggest adrenaline rush out there in front of all those
That's
people.
true. I'd want a big reaction too. You know what I mean? But I like the
You'd want to feel with because everybody that's been wrestling, they talk about it. They say it's terrible if you're an addict because there's nothing more addictive. No drug in the world gets you as high as 20,000, 50,000, whatever.
Right.
Going nuts when you come out. You know what I mean? Hanging on your every word. It's euphoric, supposedly. So I would like to see what that feels like.
You'd want to be Ric Flair, I guarantee. You'd want to be Ric Flair. No doubt about it.
That's a good. You know what? You're right. I'd want to be Ric Flair, especially if it's like for 24 hours, because that means I get to beat him at the Marriott at the hotel after
in the in the bars, et cetera, et cetera.
Kamikazes, man, bring him out.
Ian Jones, Rock to beat Cena at WrestleMania, and him drop the title on Raw to keep the good feel factor The feel-good factor going one more night. It's possible, man. I said that, but I think on the biggest stage of them all, John Cena gets his retribution. And Boone convinced me. I had said maybe Rock retains at WrestleMania, then the following night on Raw. That doesn't make any sense, man. And Boone convinced me a couple of weeks ago. John Cena wins it on the biggest stage of them all, and then they follow it up on Raw the following night.
And I hate to say it, but I've been calling this since before The Rock came back, and we would argue and argue and argue. I'd say The Rock comes back, and in his first match, he wins the title from Punk. He loses to Cena at WrestleMania. He keeps it all the way through to WrestleMania, loses to Cena. And we had this giant argument every week, and I'm like,
We did. You were right. You were definitely right on that. And the last one.
I'm always right.
Get the fuck out of here. Tyler Patia. Should Zack Ryder leave WWE and go join forces with TNA? Yeah, man. They're never going to use that. Zack Ryder's always going to be a comedy gimmick in WWE. Always, man.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, if you go to I was going to say go to TNA and get over and then come back, but even when they get, like, over guys in TNA, they punish them, like you said, for being in TNA, so... he just might be fucked, man. And it sucks because he got himself over, and that was nobody's plan. He's almost being punished for getting over without somebody helping him get over,
Go submit feedback, guys. Feedback. We want your feedback. Like I said, we're going to be doing a service switch in the next couple of days here on WZROnline.com. So if your DNS or your server provider, if they update their DNS every couple of hours, you won't have any problems. If not, we may be down for a day, but shouldn't be longer than that. Submit feedback right now. Boone will tell you where to go do that.
Well, where are you going to do that? Is you go on your internet browser and type in 3 letters, www. Then you type a dot, and then you type Facebook dot again, com. Then there's a slash you got to throw in there, and then you got to type out Ryan Clark WZR. Once you get there, you hit enter. And this page will load in the top post slash for your motherfucking feedback. I started it. Goddamn it. I tried changing it up a little bit. Just let us know what you thought of the motherfucking show this week. If you thought it was good, you let us know why. We'll do more of it. If you thought it was bad, let us know why. We'll do less of it. This is how we get better, ladies and gentlemen. And that little child that was with me earlier, you little punk bitch. Give me feedback, Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. He forgets my mic's on for 2 hours straight. His mic's on for fucking 20 seconds.
All right,
you don't throw rocks at the guy who's got a machine gun, you little prick. Remember that.
To finish up WWE SmackDown real quick, we're going to have full spoilers on the website, but after the weightlifting competition, it was Daniel Bryan and Caitlyn teamed up to take on Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee. Let's see here. In the end, Caitlyn speared AJ, picked up the win there. There was a backstage video of The Shield. They talked about taking out Randy Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show at WrestleMania, said they didn't stand a chance. And then Jack Swagger defeated the Great Khali. This ended with a double count-out. Basically, Swagger locked Khali in the Patriot lock on the outside, ignored the 10 count, got the double count-out. Afterwards, Ricardo Rodriguez came out to distract Jack Swagger, who then got ambushed by Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio took him out, and that was that. Ricardo and Del Rio celebrated to end the show. And the last thing before we get out of here, we took a poll earlier in the night. Which WrestleMania 29 main event are you most anticipating? Is The Undertaker versus CM Punk, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, The Rock versus John Cena, or Alberto Del Rio against Jack Swagger. I just voted. I picked Taker versus CM Punk.